Hello,
Oh,
everybody. Welcome to day 3 of our Prime Day streams, which also means we are now approaching 3/4 of the way to
yep.
completing our Prime Day sales activation in the US and Canada, all that fun stuff. So hello, how are you guys doing today? There's Elgato hats. I'm not sure what you're talking. Is there Elgato hats here?
There are Elgato
There
hats,
are
and we
Elgato
have something
hats.
really special planned. If you were here yesterday,
Yeah, you might have heard about this briefly
yep,
yesterday, but we're doing something very cool today. But first, just a quick note that today we'll be talking about a lot of different products. We're going to be talking about Prompter. We're going to be talking about Prompter's going to be the coolest one. We're talking about Facecam. We're Camlink 4K, and we're going to be talking about. Well, we are going to be talking about capture. That's our
yep,
first topic of the day. We're going to be talking about 4KX and HD60X. And then, did I mention Camlink 4K?
Camlink
That as
4K,
well.
basically everything video today, right?
Video.
So video inputs, as in the capture cards, the cameras, as well as video outputs, aka prompter. That
Yes.
one's gonna be awesome. I
So
mean, all
check
of
the
it's
deals
awesome.
at elgato.com because depending on your region, there's sales on video products that may be perfect for your setup. But first, we need to address the hat in the room, specifically the hats in the room. We have a cool thing that we're doing here. This is the first time we try something like this, so like be patient with us. once we get an answer here, there's gonna be a lot of cooking behind the scenes to get this running. Uh, but shout out to our like channel marketing team and our marketing team. They had this really great idea of letting you guys, specifically for the US deals, pick an additional deal that will be added tomorrow and will be on sale tomorrow. So you get to pick one more product,
Of these
one more
three that
product
are right
of
here.
these three products that they have graciously let you decide from, and one of these products will go on sale tomorrow. So, I guess that being
How do we do
said,
this? Do we just
we'll reveal one at a time, and then once we're done revealing them, we will run the poll. Right?
okay?
So yeah, this will be for the US deals. So first, let's reveal everything, and then there'll be a poll. All you'll have to do is type what we're going to tell you in chat. But first, let's reveal everything before we start voting. So no need to vote yet. Let's reveal the products. Do you want to go
Left to
first?
right to left, or we'll do one each, and then we can like
I
do the middle one.
Let's do one at a
Or
time.
chat. Which one should we do
Yeah,
first?
one,
What?
2, or 3. Which
Mm,
option would you like to hear about first? Middle. I was
We
thinking the middle too. Two.
two.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Honestly,
saying middle.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Da 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 da
Da
da
da
da
da. Please.
da
All right,
da. Oh,
Stream Deck Neo is the first option. So tiny but mighty. We've got 8 keys. We got a touch strip. We've got these little touch points to have more pages. Pretty dang powerful, and it's already a really good price. So having a deal on it will make it an even better price. So this is actually a great one to vote for if you are new to Stream Deck. You want your first Stream Deck. Maybe you have Stream Deck Mobile, and you're looking to get
yeah.
that first physical Stream Deck.
That would be
I
pretty.
have a Neo for work. Let's go. Let's go. That's awesome.
Having neon sale would be pretty crazy. I mean, that
Ooh.
would bring it down. You're talking.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know the percentages, by the way. So, like, those are staying secret. You can vote on the product. The
Yeah.
percentages are secret. But again, you're talking Stream Deck Neo, 8 keys, 2 capacitive buttons, the little display at the bottom for even less.
2% off like the milk. Oh my. They keep I saw you guys in Discord talking about the milk too. Oh my
All right.
god. And then Sasko has the new weather plugin with the lower LED. If not, it should. Like that should be like we got to figure that out. Well,
Yannick, if you're watching,
Yannick,
he's our
please.
product manager for that. Make it happen.
Go code something. Go type
Uh,
some computer things.
okay, so it's like Christmas here. So now we have 2 more hats. Left or right? Left or right? This one has something pretty big
That's
under it,
their right.
but this one has, it's like Christmas when you're like, there's a small present and you're like, oh, but I bet it sucks. But then it could be $1,000 rolled up, right? Because that's pretty small. So you don't know. Do you want left or
Oh
right?
my god, they
We're
don't. They also
right,
don't know.
left. Oh wait, I'm
Left,
seeing a
left,
lot of
right.
left. That's the left. That's our left, I guess,
Yeah.
or I guess my left. Burrito's right.
Wait, we're facing the same way. It's both our left.
Oh yeah, I guess it is both of our lefts. Yeah.
The burrito. Oh yeah, yeah. Burrito or Phil? Who's better? Guys, who's better, burrito or Phil?
Listen, you don't want mom and dad to fight, okay? You can't pit us against each other like that. But it's okay.
Burrito?
We'll go with
Burrito's
burrito.
burrito.
We'll go with burrito.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, the next product that
James, me.
you guys can potentially pick to go on sale is
One that we get asked for a lot.
a lot.
It's the big boy. It's Stream Deck XL.
Let's go. You guys can get Stream Deck XL on sale tomorrow if you pick it. If you pick it.
Right? So we got 32 keys. We've got, full customization, all the things that a Stream Deck can do, Stream Deck XL can also do, and it can do it bigger because it's bigger. So XL is the second option for what to vote for. So I know what you're thinking. Like immediately in your head, you're like, "Oh, XL, duh!" Right?
Oh,
Like
but
I want
wait.
XL on sale. However, like you got to consider like XL is more expensive. It's bigger, so it's more expensive. So if you're wanting your first Stream Deck, maybe you want to actually vote for this one because it would, be a lower price. It would
Yeah.
also have the sale. So, I mean, this might feel like the immediate obvious option, but I want you to think about it, right? Like which one do you want to buy? Which one would you want for the
There's
sale?
like the emotional response of, oh my gosh, I want the big one.
Big
But
one.
then there's the logical response of, oh, actually, I have to pay for this. Maybe I want the small one.
Yeah. So
for
think about
even
it.
less.
I mean, I would still go with XL, but think about it, right?
Yeah.
Think about it.
All right.
Smaller one for sure says your go big or go home says Xavier. Phil's definitely hiding a glass of milk. What? That would be so
that
funny.
would be crazy. Also, we did not think of that. We're not that.
We're not that clever.
Yeah.
You guys are funnier than us.
All right. And number 3, the third product that you could vote on to go on sale tomorrow is, I actually have no idea what it is
Wave
Wave
DX.
DX.
We've got Wave DX here. A lot of you guys have been asking in the US because Wave DX is not.
Oh, sorry. Wrong camera scene. Wrong camera scene. Wrong scene. I meant to press secondary camera, not demo. That's pretty good.
What was that? Yeah.
that was the wrong. I have a Stream Deck right here and I can control it. Don't worry, it's actually nothing bad. In fact, we'll go back there, but yeah. That's pretty good.
It was kind of perfect because you queued that up for later, but honestly, this is better. All right, we got Wave DX.
Honey, wake up. Wave DX could go on sale. Yeah.
So this could be your next XLR microphone. You guys were asking since day one about Wave DX in the US. Unfortunately, it's not a Prime Day deal, but if you vote for it, you can actually get this one on sale. So yeah, this is the last choice. It's the different choice here. It's like your extra option. You have Stream Deck options, and then you've got a nice XLR choice.
So here's the thing. Let's say you already have a microphone that you've been looking to upgrade, or let's say you have an audio interface already, and you have an XLR mic and you're looking to get something potentially new or different, then, Wave DX could go on sale. So we have 3 awesome products here.
Yes.
How do we actually decide which one goes on sale? Chat has the power, right?
You got the power. Okay, right when you guys are done voting, the channel marketing and the sales team, they're like, they're gonna be working hard to get that deal running for tomorrow.
Which
so
I don't think this has been done. I don't know of anyone that's ever done this.
Yeah.
And like the fact that we can do this kind of in real time and be like, all right, this one's going on sale and make it happen. Again, we don't know the percentages. So this could also, and in fact, like I don't know how much these are going on sale. It could be 10%, 20, it could be 5. I don't know. So that's where also, again, think about what makes the most sense here for you.
Oh my God, Pop, I can't decide. I want the little guy, the big guy, the mic. Ah!
You know what we should do? Chat needs to go away and like huddle,
deliberate.
like a little huddle, like, all
huddle.
right, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then come back and be like, we want this, and come back, all unified and everything.
100% vote.
Yeah.
And then one contrarian.
Oh,
person.
great question. Is this just in the US?
This is just in the US. So consider this is a pretty unique thing we're doing here. Like lots of maybe phone calls, messages are gonna be sent around to get these things running for tomorrow. It might not appear as a Prime Day deal, but it will be like an additional deal, right? So this is unique. So yeah, this is for the US. And then maybe if this goes well, this is maybe something we can try out in other regions. But yes, only in the US. But if you're not in the US, you can maybe help anybody in the chat that you want to get the product on sale and maybe they really want something, you can vote for them as well. This is Wave DX. This is an XLR microphone.
It's the same mic. It's the same mic we're using right now. I don't know if I can, this time I'll go click on the right scene. So this is Wave DX in white. This is what we're using right now to talk. This is Wave DX in black. This is the one that you could potentially decide that goes on sale. So if you like the sound of it, then this is what this is what we've got, or Stream Deck Neo or Stream Deck XL.
All right. So it sounds clear, yeah. And we're running pretty aggressive voice focus because we got some noise in the room. So all of that considered, like we have a really loud AC here, but this is what it sounds like with the power of wavelength. But this doesn't unlock wavelength, so you would want Stream Deck Plus or something like Wave XLR
dock or Wave XLR. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Shall we do this? Should we chat? Did you guys huddle? Are you all good? You guys know what you want to vote for?
And you can only vote once, so I think once you type it, you're locked in. I don't know if it'll let you update, so keep that in mind if you change your mind. All right, let's get that poll running. You will type XL in chat. Oh, we might want to. Can you reset it? Open because people might have been talking about it. Yeah, just press the reset poll. Perfect. All right. Type XL in chat if you're interested in Stream Deck XL to be added as a US deal. Type Neo in chat if you're interested in Neo being added as a Prime Day deal. And type DX in chat if you would like Wave DX to be added as a Prime Day deal. Look at the votes. We got Neo, we got DX. Oh, that's
Dang, this is
this
cool.
is so
Oh,
fun.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. First up, we've got
Call me
XL
too.
at 37%, but Wave DX here with a close follow of 40%. Looks like XL is going up to 41. Oh
We have
wow,
a
40.
tie
We have
right
a tie
now.
right now, 41.9 and 41.9 for Wave X for Stream Deck XL and Wave DX. Stream Deck Neo coming in a little bit behind here. It looks like the consensus is
DX is
going
ahead.
for the more keys.
They're tied again.
Burrito, tell us about that. In the pregame season, why do you think Stream Deck Neo is coming up like this? Is it just because Stream Deck XL has more buttons? Could that be it?
I'm Joe, by the way. Thank you, Phil. Yes, I'm not too surprised by the results here. I mean, Neo is a very, very strong competitor, but it's really hard to resist the appeal of something like Stream Deck XL. Really established in the space, been around for so many years, really, really solid contender here. But what is really surprising here is how tough of a competitor DX is.
That's
I
right.
mean, much newer than XL. Still not new, been around longer than Wave Neo, but really, really, really impressed here by by
That's right.
the
We
by
could
the
be looking
results.
at an upset here. Wave DX coming in as the underdog. We've got 2 Stream Decks and only 1 microphone. We weren't expecting this strong performance, but it's still too early to tell right now. So we've got 37% for Wave DX,
Oh, that
45%.
the numbers are still
The numbers are
changing.
still changing, folks. This could be, it still could go one way or the other. How long are we going to run this poll for?
Maybe a couple more minutes.
A couple more
You
minutes?
guys
Okay.
decide. We can end it at 25. Yeah. You guys got 3 minutes to vote.
So, again, if you're just joining us and you're confused about what's happening, don't be, because we're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah. So
Prime
basic.
Day,
Oh,
or
go
do you
go
want to,
go go go. You go.
you? No?
Go
Okay.
cook
All
cook
right.
cook.
We've got Prime Day sales right now. However, we're giving you the option to vote on which product goes on sale of the 3 that are in front of us. We've got Stream Deck XL with 32 keys here. We've got Stream Deck Neo with 8 keys, 2 capacitive buttons, and the display at the bottom,
Which is also a lower price.
or the info bar. Yeah, that's
It's
it.
it's it's a lower price than XL. So you got to consider that too. I mean, it's so awesome. It's so dreamy. But if you're looking for your first Stream Deck, this might be the one to vote for.
But of course, we couldn't be talking to you today without a microphone. And that's why we're using Wave DX. And that's why another choice is Wave DX here in black. This could also go on sale.
Yeah.
So, what you need to do if you want to vote is type in chat just
And
one
specifically Wave DX in black.
Wave DX in black. Exactly. Type in chat either XL if you want to vote for Wave XL, Neo if you want to vote for Stream Deck Neo, or DX if you want to vote for Wave DX.
Yep. So just
The
XL
names
for
of the
Stream Deck
option
XL,
are quite hard
Neo.
to read.
I can see that it's a little
Yeah.
grayed out. I meant to have a command. That's on me. A command make that easier. But we'll note this for next time. This is the first time we do something like this. So yeah. Oh, and Stream Deck unlocks virtual Stream Deck. That's another thing. Both of these Stream Decks will unlock virtual Stream Deck. So it may be 8 keys, but with virtual Stream Deck, you basically have infinite keys? Question mark. Did we
Yeah.
find a limit yet? No limit yet.
And what we also know is if you tuned in on Tuesday is that with Stream Deck, you can do things like folders, pages, and profiles. And so even if you only
Yeah.
have 8 keys, you could have actually a lot more than that. It's kind of crazy then with the Stream Deck XL because, well, I mean, you already have 32. You can add even more there. So both of those, of course, unlock virtual Stream Deck.
Yes.
Wave DX, on the other hand, just sounds really good. Now, it doesn't matter. You could have 10 Stream Decks in front of you. If people can't hear you, what are you saying? So, you know, something to think about as well.
Coffee says, "Hello from French Elgato partner. Stream Deck is his life. Stream Deck is love. Eat Stream Decks. Don't eat Stream Decks.
Is Stream
Please
Deck
don't."
cake?
Um,
Does
can
Wave
we actually,
DX?
Chris? Can you do something real quick? Can you change the setting to show the number of votes? Like if you scroll up, you should be able to see something where it show number of votes instead of percent. There we go. 24 votes for XL. If we got 5 people, we could flip this to DX. Wow. I'm gonna vote Neo.
All right, let's start creating.
One more minute. One more minute. We got
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's 25. Are we locked in? Is XL our winner?
With 24 votes, 22 for Wave
Oh,
DX
wow.
and 5 for Neo. Or
So
actually, did Neo went
close.
up a little bit?
9. I got
9.
9.
Okay, yeah, 9.
That was so close. Get
All
us
right.
a tie. James is really wants this tie really bad. All right, XL is the winner. XL will be getting a promotion tomorrow for Prime Day. Congratulations, Stream Deck XL. But really, you guys are the winners because you get to shop XL on sale in the US tomorrow. So this is so cool. I was actually like, when I saw the US deals, I was a little sad that XL wasn't part of the Prime Day
Mhm.
promotion because everybody always asks for XL to be on sale because they want to pick it up really bad. So yeah, now it's on sale. So I guess we'll talk a bit more about Stream Deck XL tomorrow, and then
Yep.
stay tuned for that deal to go live. It might not be perfectly right on the dot at midnight. There's some special behind the scenes things that has to happen to get this deal properly running for you. So yeah, just stay tuned. And our team's working hard. And if you have any questions, to give you an avenue to ask them, you can maybe ask in our Discord if it's not live by a certain time in the US, because this will be a US only. So yeah, thank you guys so much for participating. That was
That
very
was fun.
fun.
I think we can do that again in the future. We'll have
Yeah.
to see, but yeah,
We'll
very
have to see
cool.
now. Now the
Yeah.
team has to make some phone calls, make sure
Yep.
this is all
Quickly
squared
run to the
away.
warehouse, pick up all the Stream Deck XLs, and bring it over. Yeah. Um. Okay, so Stream Deck XL gonna go on sale tomorrow. Today, though, I think we can look at our current Prime Day sales and everything that we have going on.
Yes.
Um, so should we switch over to uh
Yeah.
oh, the schedule. Before we even talk about the deals, let's talk about how the rest of the week looks, when you guys can tune in and all of that. So, Brito, do you want to walk us through the
Yeah.
schedule?
So today we're live until about 1:30, and then tomorrow we'll be live 10 to 1:30 as well for those last questions you guys got. We'll have two very special guests. We'll have an incredible VTuber in the community who some of you may already know, and we'll introduce them tomorrow. But we'll also have Julian, so the head of Elgato, will be joining us a bit early in the stream.
Well,
So prepare your
it's
questions.
John Elgato.
Oh my god.
The man himself, John
It's
Elgato,
Julian.
is
And
joining
then,
us.
I'll have a German stream in the morning PT and afternoon in Germany. So if you want to hear all things audio from the German team, make sure to join them then. And then we'll also have a French stream. So yeah, if you guys are interested in learning about all the products, this is the first time our French team is taking over the stream. So super excited
Je
to have them on
m'appelle
tomorrow.
Phil. I do not speak French.
Oh, très bien. Oui.
Oui.
And then Monday we'll have a Japanese stream. And then I've heard some murmurs about us planning another Spanish stream. So those Mexico Prime Day deals actually go live later, like the schedule's different for them. So we may potentially have another Spanish stream that's not on that calendar for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for when those Mexico deals go live for any of
Ooh,
our viewers in Mexico.
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all up to date on the schedule, but you know what we've been scheduling all week? That's a terrible segue.
Yeah, that was
Not
not
as bad
smooth.
as the
Yeah,
segue though
try
to
again,
our
try
Prime
again.
Day deals.
Try again, try again. I need a refresh,
No,
refresh.
no,
Try
we
that
can't.
again.
We have to move on. We have to move on. Anyways,
We
hey,
have to transition to the next topic.
did you know that Prime Day sales are live? Uh, 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 my wallet, Elgato Prime Day deals. It's Elgato, but hear me out. Prime Day sales. Uh, Elgato Prime Day deals. You see this? This is what we're talking about today, guys. We're talking. If you didn't know, we're talking Prime Day deals, and of course, looks like Elgato Prime Day deals are back on the menu, boys. All right. So, do you guys want to see the deals? Let's talk about them. Those aren't the deals. These are going to be the deals.
What's your deal, Phil?
I can't type.
You know what? Add
All
a
right.
Stream Deck key for that.
I probably
You
should.
probably should.
All right, let's scroll down here. Yeah, those are. Oh, I've got a number of more memes lined up, and a lot of them are retro. We've got some new ones, but most of them are retro.
He sat there
Anyways,
for like 2 hours making those, by the way, just so you know.
yeah.
No joke.
So if you go on Elgato.com, you are going to first of all, you can see the live stream. You can join in right away. You can also see when the deals end. So we're in the last third here. You can also pick the region of the deals that you're in. Let me close this right here. Let me close this, clean it up a little bit. There we go. So by default, it should select the region that you're in here in the we're obviously in the US here, but if you're in a different region, you can go in here and you can also select that region and then you will see all the prime deals for your region specifically. But okay, let's take a look here. So we at the top, we're highlighting some of our top deals right now. Right now, that's actually Wave Mic Arm LP. If you were in the live stream yesterday, you'll know all about Wave Mic Arm LP and why it's awesome. You can save up to 30% on that right now. Wave Mic Arm Pro in white here, you can save up to 25%. And then we move on to Stream Deck. You can get Stream Deck Mark II with 15 keys for up to 20% off. If Amazon is still Amazoning, then this should be 27%. So yeah, Amazon, at least in the US, is deciding to just give you 27% off, which that's cool. So it's a little bit more than what we initially anticipated. If you want to get Stream Deck Mark II in white, then you can get that for 10% off. And then there's the Stream Deck Plus XLR dock bundle. This one we are still working on getting up again. It was super popular. It's sold out right now. I think we'll have more on Friday. Our team, again, we're running to the warehouse trying to get more. We'll see if we can make that happen. Um, for microphones, we've got Wave Neo. If you tuned in yesterday, you'll know all about Wave Neo. If you didn't tune in, well, you can watch the live stream replay where we actually demoed the microphone live. You can hear it. Wave Neo is up to 35% off. Is Amazon going to Amazon? It is. So you can actually get 37% off. It is still a crazy deal. $57 for a Wave Neo that gives you access to Wavelink software as well. So you're going to sound really good and you can process all your audio in Wavelink and you can do audio routing in Wavelink. So that's really cool. Of course, if you want to mount your mic, we already had some of those top deals showing you the Mic Arm LP and the Wave Mic Arm Pro. Of course, there's also our regular Mic Arm High Rise, and this one's up to 30% off. So that's also really, really nice if you're looking for a mic arm that goes maybe over your monitor or more from the side, or you need more table space. Or let's say you even have a podcast and you want to have your mic arm come in from the side of the couch. Mic Arm LP is perfect for that. Then, of course, we have here Mic Arm LP in white. This one you can also save up to 30% on. And finally, Wave Desk Stand. In fact, I can't really show it to you right now, but Wave Desk Stand is currently holding a Corsair Xenon Edge monitor, which is one of the ways that you can use Wave Desk Stand. You can, of course, also put a microphone on it. You can put a camera on it. You can put a light on it. It really doesn't matter. This is just a really sturdy desk stand with a 1/4-inch thread that you can put anything on. You love the Kowalski meme? Oh yeah. Oh, I got more loaded. I got a minigun of memes
Unfortunately.
ready. Um, Next up is Prompter. Of course, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Prompter in what, probably like 2 hours or so.
Yeah,
Um,
just about.
just about something like that. You can save up to 35%. This is crazy. We're actually using a prompter right now, which is why I can read chat. I can read, Kowalski meme, but it looks like I'm looking at the camera and I'm having, real eye contact with you guys. And so that's what prompter lets you do. And we're going to talk about that. It's up to 37% off. You're saving, what, $110 here? That is wild. Prompter's had some incredible improvements over time. As with all Elgato products, you bought Prompter on day one. It's got new features through Camera Hub, the software that it comes with. So getting Prompter for $190 is a really, really good deal. You can have chat on the Prompter. Absolutely. That's what we're doing right now. See JP study time. I was just looking at the camera and I can see your chat. So
Is there a
that's what
picture on
Prompter
there of
allows you
that
to
so
do.
they can see it real quick? That Louis
Uh,
one should do it.
this
Yep.
one right here, it may be a little small. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can have chat on Prompter. You can see, and then there's the camera behind there.
And then you use Stream Deck Plus dials to scroll up and down, or
Yep, I
Stream Deck
can literally
keys.
on a Stream Deck Plus here, I can scroll up and down, so it
Yeah,
makes
and
it
we'll
really
demo this later,
awesome.
so you'll see it in real time.
Yep. Um,
And
so
it's on
th
sale for
and
over
it's on sale.
$100 off
Yeah.
US.
Of course, if you're going to use a prompter, you want a camera with that, and so we have two incredible deals here. One is for Camlink 4K. This is for if you have a DSLR and action cam, doesn't really matter. As long as it has an HDMI output, you can take that camera and connect it to Camlink 4K, and it'll look like a webcam for your monitor, for your computer, excuse me. This one's 20% off. So if we check Amazon there, again, these are all the US deals. You can get Camlink 4K for $80. This is kind of a no frills, just works, plug it in, use your camera as a webcam product. Next up, though, we have Facecam Mark II, which that's another product that we're going to be talking about today. Isn't that right, Burrito?
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Yep.
So we're
And
going
we'll
to talk
even
about.
put it on prompter as well.
Oh yeah, we
So
are going to do
we'll
that.
showcase it in Camera Hub, and then when we get to the prompter segment, you also get to see it
Actually, can
on
I,
prompter.
if I
Oh,
pull it up? Oh,
hi,
look, there it is. That's
that's me.
Facecam Mark II
Exposing I was on my phone for a
in
minute.
OB.
How could you do that to
Are you
me?
even paying attention?
I
Okay, I'm
am.
trying to describe these
I'm always
deals.
paying attention.
So yeah, it just looks really, really good. The quality is great, and so we're going to talk about Facecam Mark II today, as well as the again incredibly powerful camera hub software that it comes with. You can get Facecam Mark II for up to 20% off currently, which is wow, 21%. Look at that, $110. So here's the crazy
That's
thing.
an
Wait.
incredible
If the
price.
math is mathing, you could buy Prompter and Facecam Mark II together for the same price as Prompter normally.
Wait, that's a good way to put it. That's so true.
You can literally buy Prompter and
It's like you
and a
get
better
Facecam
camera.
Mark II for free.
That is marketing right there.
Tan says, "Hey, just thought I should come in and say that I use so many of your products and love them all. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that. I mean, we like that means a lot to us. Thank
It
you
really
so much for
does.
taking the time of your day to let us know.
And then
Appreciate you."
the other topic that we're going to talk about, and this one's coming up very soon. This actually the next thing we're going to jump into is capture. So we have two devices on sale here. We have HD60X up to 25% off. This is going to be really great for just capturing either 1080p 60 in HDR or 4K 30 or maybe some 1440p 60 in there. It'll pass through 4K 60 with HDR and VRR, so it's really great for Switch 2. It's really great if you've got an Xbox Series S or maybe even a Steam Deck, something like that. This is kind of your like all-rounder capture card here, and you can get it for 30% off or 29% or $128. So we'll talk about that in a little bit here. And the other capture card on sale, this is kind of like the beefy USB one, is 4KX for up to 20% off. This one has HDMI 2.1, full support for 4K at 120 hertz, 4K at 144 hertz. It also uses 10 gigabit USB, so you can do things like 1440p 60 HDR capture or even 4K at 144 hertz, which is kind of crazy if you think about a USB capture card capturing literally 4K at 144 hertz. Pretty wild. You can get that one for up to 20% off. And this, is it sold out?
Oh, did it sell out? I will message. I'll find out about
All
this.
right. Well, before we, I mean, maybe the deal was just that good and you guys love the product so much, which is awesome. So we'll find out, or we'll try to find out quickly if we are going to get more in stock, or if maybe, sometimes Amazon will also just, not show the buy button or something like that. So we'll find out for you guys. Finally, if you do have some VHS tapes, well, you can always use video capture for that and get 25% off. I mentioned it yesterday. This is a great option as a gift for parents or grandparents. Maybe they've got some VHS tapes. Maybe you're the techie person in the family, right? You kind of do that. So what you do is you get video capture here and you tell them, hey, I'm going to digitize all our old family tapes, those weddings, those birthdays, those events, those get-togethers. I'm going to digitize those for you and then send them, send them around to the family. Video capture does that for you. It's a really great option for that. And you can get that one for a nice price of $69 or rather $70 here, or 22% off. Finally, we're talking about cameras, but of course, a camera is not going to look good without lighting. And so we have our Keylight Mark II here on sale for up to 25% off. It's Keylight. You know it, you love it. It's big, it's bright, it's Wi-Fi controlled. It comes with a desk clamp. You can just clamp it onto your table. It's just going to sit there. It's going to make you look really good on camera.
And we'll be showing it off
Is
later
that
today.
today?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, we today is like everything camera related. So if you've been wondering how Keylight works, or Facecam Mark II, or the Camera Hub software, or Prompter, stick around. That's what we're talking about today. You can also get, of course, Keylight for 25% off right now, which, if I open this up again, is okay. That's the lowest I think I've maybe ever seen this product. Um, it's $133. Add tax and I was about to say tip on there, but just add tax on there. Tip me for giving you this awesome information. But yeah, so $133. That is a incredible price for this product, which is normally 180. Finally, if 108 or 130 is a little bit much, which totally understand, or maybe you don't have the space, or maybe you don't need that much light, well then, hey, Keylight Neo is an awesome option for you. This is a monitor mounted light, so you get a monitor mount here, so you can put it on your monitor, you can put it on your laptop, you could even put it on your tablet, like in this image. It's got buttons on the front there for control. It's a little bit smaller. It still gets incredibly bright. It's a really nice option. Also, if you're like in an office or if you travel a lot and you just want to take this with you, you could do that. It's USB powered, so it doesn't need a wall power. Makes it really nice and convenient, and you can save up to 35% off. Let's take a look here. So yeah, you can get this for $60. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, those are all of the Prime Day deals that we have going on right now. Rito, did we
More
hear
like
back yet?
Prime Day steals, the way these deals are helping you save so much money. You're basically stealing from us.
Yeah, exactly. Did we hear back already
No, I'll let
on?
you know as soon as we
Okay.
hear back about 4KX. So we can start talking about HD60X. That is my first like real capture card that I use because I had HD60S Plus, but I didn't have like the proper consoles to stream it yet. And then when I got HD60X, I finally started streaming my console games and my Nintendo Switch. My Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch. So I love HD60X. Has a very special place in my heart.
Mhm.
Also, the first capture card launch I worked on. So
Well,
yeah.
since you're already on the topic, do you want to talk a little bit about, I mean, maybe what a capture card is and,
Yep.
why they're useful, and then we can dive into the more of the technical stuff as well.
Yeah, so some of you may know what a capture card is. We're kind of like the capture card company. It's kind of how we started,
John
but
capture card.
I mean, there may be many of you that also don't know or maybe been too afraid to ask. Don't worry, I was also in that boat a couple years ago. Capture cards, essentially what they are, is it lets you take the output of something like your console or maybe a second PC or maybe even something like an iPad, and you can then put it to route to your computer so that you can have that video output in your OBS for streaming and recording. So think of it this way: Nintendo Switch, put the HDMI into here, put the cable to your computer, and boom, now you can stream your Nintendo Switch. It's on OBS just like a webcam would be, and you can basically take that signal over to your
Yeah.
computer. And then you also have another HDMI here called HDMI out, which lets you pass through that video footage so that you can play the full, great, juicy video quality, if that's a descriptor you can use for video. You can play your juicy Animal Crossing on a TV, and you can get that full quality, uncompromised. Like it's not cropped into OBS. You're not playing from OBS preview. If you would like to use pass through, you also don't
Okay.
have to. I am a very big OBS player. Nothing I play requires requires like real time inputs.
Hmm.
I'm not a competitive gamer, so I'm you probably wouldn't like my captures out of. I just
I
play on
mean,
OBS.
yeah, that works.
I like it. It works for me. So yeah, but if you do want that full quality, you want that very 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 low latency, almost indistinct, like almost unseeable latency. HD60X and both 4KX as well have very low latency
And I can hear
on
some of
pass
you
through.
thinking, well, doesn't my PlayStation 5 or my Xbox or heck, even the Switch and Switch 2 have like built-in recording and built-in streaming? They do, but there's some pretty obvious limitations. Switch and Switch 2 don't have built-in streaming. If you can record video, because not all games allow you on the Switch and Switch 2, then it's usually just like a 30-second quick clip, and it's 1080p. It's usually like 30 FPS, pretty low quality, all of that. So if you want to stream your game, you really want to get that onto your computer because then you can use software like OBS, which we'll show here in a little bit, to add overlays, add your camera in there as well if you want to, and really customize and make your stream unique. Because if you're streaming from your PlayStation or your Xbox, you're going to be streaming with the same settings, the same quality, the same overlays, and the same positions as pretty much everybody else.
Yeah.
And so, this lets you stand out from the crowd. You can then also record your footage right onto your computer. So it's a great workflow tool as well. Yes, you can record onto an Xbox. There is no, there's like, yeah, you can record on Xbox, you can record on a PlayStation, but then you have to get that footage over to your computer somehow. And if you are creating content daily, then that's going to be a huge hassle. So having that just go right into your computer, be right there, ready to edit, and it's going to be higher quality or even just more customizable. You can choose, do you want it in 4K? Do you want it 1080p, 1440p, 30 or 60? All
Yep.
these different things. That's what a capture card enables you to do.
Yep. And
So
then we
yeah,
also have software as well to help you do that. And actually, Chris just mentioned something we're going to be talking about. You said, I've been liking Elgato Studio for recording lately. So, yeah, this is
yeah,
actually the first time we're going to be showing off Elgato Studio on the stream, I believe.
I think
It's
so.
still in
Yeah,
beta. So,
yeah.
something pretty cool that we'll be able to showcase here that we've been working on for the next generation of capture.
Gamer, what is that? I don't know my Roman numerals. Is that like L? What is that like? Gamer 1051 or something like that? Bro, do you have eyeliner on? Are you asking me or Burrito? Because
I
I
think,
don't.
yeah, I think they're maybe asking you. You're just like, you have good lashes. I'm jealous. They're
I'll
better than
take that as a
mine.
compliment. I don't, but if it looks like I do,
You
that
should do
works.
the, what is that what it's called?
Guy liner?
No, but it
That
would accentuate
oh,
the already great eyelashes.
are you?
I wish my eyelashes were better, basically is what I'm trying to say. Oh,
Oh,
me. No, I'm not wearing eyeliner.
that's
That's giving me way too much
clever.
credit. Not
Burrito, not broito.
okay. Anyway, so
Anyways,
capture cards.
yep.
So yeah, you can take that console output or another PC, so dual PC setups as well. Which we actually can we talk about that today as well for
What,
dual
dual
PC
PC?
setups?
We could also demo Wavecast a little bit.
Yeah.
But
We're cooking, okay? We're cooking over here.
I want to pull something
Yeah.
up because
Vic, welcome back.
we do have we have sale on two capture cards. We have HD60X and 4K, the 4KX here. And we have this really handy dandy comparison chart that shows kind of what some of the main differences are. And if you're confused about what some of these terms mean, then don't worry, we'll go into those in a little bit. The first thing in terms of like what's this difference or what's the same, they both look in terms of the size and the form factor very similar. You've got this kind of like, that's why it's called a capture card. It's kind of got this like card shape. You can see here they look very similar. On the front, one of them says HD60X and then one says 4KX. On the back, you have that USB port, that USB-C port that connects to your computer, and then you have the HDMI in and the HDMI out. So very similar looks wise, but really it's under the hood that's what the major difference is. So let's go through here a little bit of what these are. And again, if you're confused about what some of these terms are, I can either explain them or show them off in real time. The first thing is capture. Now, capture, this is the basically the resolution and frame rate and also video that will come into your computer from the capture card. So with HD60X, let's say you have a 4K video input. You can then capture that at either 4K 30, or if it's in HDR10 format, like say your Switch 2 or your PlayStation 5, you can capture that at 1080p 60. If you switch over to the 4KX, you can take that same 4K 60 input and capture that at 1440p 60 with HDR. Or let's say you have something like a PlayStation 5 that outputs 4K 120. Well, you can capture that up to 4K at 120, or if you have a PC and you're sending 4K 144 into the capture card, you can even capture that at 4K 144 hertz, which is pretty incredible. Pass through, that's that HDMI connection that Brito was talking about, where you can have an HDMI in to the capture card and then an out to your TV or monitor. That's the pass through here. With 4KX, it uses HDMI 2.1, and so that can pass through up to 4K at 144 hertz, meaning you're definitely covered on the next gen consoles, and you're even covered quite well on PC with that 144 hertz or 144 FPS, if you will. The HD60X, meanwhile, uses HDMI 2.0, and so there you get up to 4K 60 FPS pass through with HDR and VRR in both of these cases. Both of these capture cards also have tone mapping. So what is tone mapping? Well, a problem that you might have is that you're recording HDR gameplay or you want to capture and play in HDR, but the thing that you're streaming to, for example, Twitch, doesn't support HDR. You need to convert that HDR, which is, think of color, it's like a lot of color, it's a lot of information, and you have to bring that down to SDR. So something has to give, right? When you take this much color, this much, and you have to shrink it down, how do you do that? And that's what's called tone mapping. Basically, it's an algorithm that decides how to translate this wider color down to a smaller amount of color. That's the high level version of what that does. And that is actually performed on both capture cards by the device itself. So it's done on the hardware. So if you have an HDR signal going into either 4K X or HD60X, it can take that signal, convert it to standard dynamic range or SDR, and then send it to OBS. It can send it to Elgato Studio. And it just means that it's immediately compatible with whatever you're using out of the box. If you want HDR, you can, of course, always keep that. But then, you might need a slightly different workflow. In terms of compatibility, I mean, HDMI is HDMI. As long as you've got a device that does not have HTTP encryption on it, then you're good to capture it. So that means both of these devices can capture PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch 1, Switch 2, PC, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, iPad. I mean, it really doesn't matter. as long as you don't have HTTP on, and that's basically content encryption. Usually only found on Blu-ray players and stuff like that, but you'll also find it on PS4 and PS5 by default. You just turn it off in the settings, and then you're good to go. On Xbox, it's off by default. Same with Switch. On Xbox, if you load a app though that does media like Netflix or Hulu, then it'll turn that on. So just don't load those. A lot of the other features then are the same. So using our 4K capture utility software, which at this point is a little bit older, you get flashback recording. Both of them have an analog audio input on the front, so that's where you can connect the ChatLink Pro, which I don't know if we're going to cover that today.
We probably
We
won't
can
cover it
mention
today,
it,
but
but
if you do want to learn more, we did talk about it on our Elgato Week streams.
yeah,
So maybe a mod could get us a link to maybe the general video, and then you can just click around for the
yeah,
ChatLink Pro part. And then we also have YouTube videos as well, so definitely check it out. But yeah, it is not on sale. We have so many things on sale, so we got to focus on the
yep.
things that have promotions right now, just to make sure we cover all of them.
Then the next thing is ultra low latency. So what does this mean? Well, this means the latency from the capture card to your computer. So basically, the device has to convert that video, and that conversion is really, really fast. It's around 30 to 35 milliseconds, which is about 2 frames at 60 FPS, which is to most people not noticeable. Like Brito was saying earlier, she just plays off of the OBS preview, which is totally something that you can do. Makes it really easy to hook up your console. I mean, it's honestly the easiest method because you don't even need a pass-through system at that point, or a pass-through monitor or TV. Um, of course, if you want that HDR, VRR, etc., you need pass through. But again, the latency on both of these is incredibly low. You can definitely play your like jump and run type games right in your software preview if you want to. For something like I don't know, a Valorant, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, where you would need that, frame perfect reaction, that's where you want to use HDMI pass through still. HDMI 1 I already talked about. 4KX supports HDMI 2.1. HD60X uses HDMI 2.0. Of course, they're both compatible with pretty much any app out there, because these are UVC devices. Not going to dive too deep into that. It just means they're compatible with, of course, our applications like 4K Capture Utility, Elgato Studio, as well as OBS Studio, Meld Studio. Why is everything called Studio, by the way? Meld Studio, and Streamlabs Desktop, Zoom, Teams. You can even select them in there, or Discord. I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually share your gameplay from your console in Discord using capture cards. They added that like a year and a half ago, and our devices were specifically tested to make sure they work well with that. So that's really awesome. If you just want to share gameplay with your friends via Discord, you can do that as well.
I love doing that. Just like one person in a call, and they're just watching you play games. It's
Yeah,
it's like a stream, but it's just a call on Discord.
I don't do that as much anymore. Where it's just like you hang out with your friends. Like you get home, you load up your computer, you just sit there. Everyone does something else, right? But
Yeah,
you're just like all sitting there and
and then you could just
chatting.
like randomly look at their gameplay,
Yeah,
while you're just hanging out.
I miss it. The good old days. Um,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, just wrap up the
Oh,
comparison, and then we'll answer a few questions in chat. So yeah, definitely ask your questions, and we'll get them queued up. And if you've already asked it, we're queuing them, so we'll
yeah.
be answering them very, very soon.
The last thing is stream to any platform. Now, I want to, that should have a little asterisk because this device itself doesn't stream. You add it to software that lets you stream to any platform. So, of course, you all know OBS, you can stream to any platform. You all know Meld, or if you don't, you should check it out. Meld is kind of new on the block. They can also stream to Twitch, YouTube, Kick, wherever you want to. So that's what we mean by stream to any platform. Basically, these devices are just compatible with every software, and and all the different software lets you stream to pretty much anywhere. Um, are you on the phone right now?
I'm on the phone right now.
Who are you calling?
Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. I'm getting some intel that 4KX should not be out of stock, and they're working on resolving that as we speak. So ba-dum ba ba ba-dum. Yes. Okay. Let them know that they should be fixing it very soon. Stay tuned. Okay. If they have questions, they can ask in our Discord. Check again later, and we'll let them know on stream if it goes on sale. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, Phil does smell bad today. And we're working on it. I'm gonna buy him some deodorant or something. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Okay, bye.
You know what's crazy about that is I can't tell if that's
No, I'm
true
kidding.
or not.
Why? You smell fine. You smell good. I'm just joking.
Maybe we should do a roast set, like Elgato roasts one day,
Oh,
where we have everyone here and we just, we get everyone. We should do that one day.
we should.
Anyways,
That's just what our segment on the stream usually is. Chris wants to do this
The
idea.
official roast of different
That's good.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, we should do that on Black Friday.
that would be good.
That's our sales promo, just roasting each other.
But in case you didn't catch that crazy phone call that just came in, so what are the details exactly?
That feels. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The details are that 4KX should not be out of stock in the U.S. and our team is working very hard to try to get that fixed for you. So definitely keep an eye on it, and if you're in other regions, it might still be available. So definitely check Elgato.com. Again, that's the theme of these 4 days. Check Elgato.com to see deals in your region, and to
Yeah.
yeah, to be cool. If you want to be cool, click Elgato.com. If you don't click it, you won't be cool. I don't make the rules.
Awesome. All right. So, with that being said, I think there were probably some questions while I was
Yes,
talking.
let's go ahead
Do
and
we have any of those queued
answer
up?
some questions from you guys. Vic asks, will the PCIe cards still have more than one app use at a time? For Elgato Studio, the beta doesn't do this with versus capture utility. So it's a
Uh,
multi-app support, right?
that is a multi-app support question. I'm gonna actually chalk that one up to a bug, because the device obviously can be used in multiple apps. This is, by the way, only for PCI cards, which we're not really focused on today. We are focusing on USB. Those do not do multi-app support. Uh, what? In case you're wondering what multi-app support means, normally, and if you've ever used a video camera of any sort or a webcam or maybe even a capture card, you'll know that you could only use it in one app at a time, right? If you open OBS, it'll be used in OBS. If you then open another app, the video device won't work. Um, that's typical for like most video stuff out there. On our PCI cards, our PCI capture cards, we actually do have a cool feature where you can use those devices in multiple apps at the same time. It's kind of a unique thing.
Yeah.
So that's what that means. But that's only limited to PCI. Again, our focus today though is 4KX and 4K
Yes.
HD60S
And then
X.
since we're talking about ChatLink Pro, James went ahead and found that section from the previous stream. So if you want to learn more about ChatLink Pro and you're picking one of these up and you also want to get ChatLink Pro, there is a section to learn about it where Phil was talking all about it. And I like how James like, that was a bit hard to find, Brito, but I did it. And just like he's like, guys,
Like
I
running.
found it. And here
Yeah.
it is. Here's the link. Thank you. I appreciate it. Shout out to the mods in chat, making sure you guys got all the information that you need.
Do we have any other questions? Because otherwise, I think we can also look at some software and also just how to
I
connect
think
the
we should have two more
devices.
questions. Now, this is one
Ah,
of two. So, does the capture pull stuff from iPad as well?
it
Can you
can.
capture your iPad?
Absolutely. So if you have a iPad, I mean, really any of them, either still with Lightning or the newer ones with USB-C, and you get the AV adapter. So I know Apple sells one for Lightning, and they also sell one for USB-C, or you can just get a third-party one. Then you can connect that HDMI from the iPad, from that adapter into the capture card, and then you can absolutely record whatever's going on your iPad.
We should get one.
In
If
fact,
someone what you have one? Wait, what? In
I
fact,
have an
what?
iPad and an adapter, but just not here.
Oh,
I
okay.
was gonna say Fortnite is back on iPad, or iOS devices, and
Yes.
so yeah, if you want to play on mobile and you want to capture that or stream it in high quality, then that's the best way to do it. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
and they do have
Nick
audio over HDMI.
Nick says huge news for iPad kids.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. It's
That's a funny way to word it. It's a huge day.
yep.
But yeah. So, shall we why don't you hook up HD60X? Let's see some Nintendo Switch.
The cable's long enough here. I think they.
I mean, I think if we go to the demo screen, you can just have it right in front of you.
Yeah, if we go to secondary here. All right. So we're going to hook up HD60X here. So this is HD60X, and I've got two cables. One is a USB-C cable that goes to the capture card from the computer. The other is the HDMI cable from the Switch 2. So I'm going to connect the HDMI cable from the Switch 2
Yes.
here into the device, and then simply connect the USB cable. And for a lot of you,
I like the
that's,
little helix you got going there.
yeah,
That's how you know this is live.
yep. Oh yeah, it's a little twisted there. For a lot of you, that's probably going to be enough. It really is just that simple. You just have your HDMI in and your USB connection. Now, if you want and if you care about that video quality, low latency, etc., then you're going to connect your TV here, right? Now your TV, instead of going to the console directly, goes into the capture card. Um, but once you've done that, you can go ahead and simply load up the capture software, which I'm going to do here.
Yes. And while you load that up, we have one last question here. Let me see if we can answer that real quick. Ba-bum. My 4KX shows up in capture software, but only says waiting to capture when the game is on. thread. If you reach out to a support team, they can help
Yeah,
you out there. I'm not sure if you have some initial ideas here, Phil, for them,
I
but
unfortunately
it
do
should it
not.
should
Yeah,
absolutely be fixable. So just reach out to our support team, and they'll help you out. You can even
yeah.
call them if you would like as well to try to just get it solved quickly.
But yeah, so this is so once you've connected your device, you install Elgato
How many bits
Studio.
for karaoke? Honestly, free. I love karaoke.
Karaoke is a lot of fun. That could be another stream to talk about
Yeah.
our microphones.
When we have more mic deals, we got to do a karaoke segment.
Yeah. Um, so once you download and install Elgato Studio, you can open it up and you can see just how quickly here, it gets started. And that's it. There you go. This is Elgato Studio. This is the software. This is the software that comes with all of our capture devices. And it's actually brand new. We just rebuilt this from the ground up. And this will allow you to do a couple things. One, manage your devices and also just easily record. So check this out. First, you can select here from your devices if you have multiple of them. You can also see here I'm getting pinged about a firmware update, so it looks like I could update the firmware if I wanted to.
Mhm.
The other really cool thing is it'll show you right away what the input is. So here you can see we've got an HDMI in 4K 60 in standard dynamic range. We've got our capture card, which says can capture up to 4K 30, right? Because we have 4K video coming in. And then it also shows the recording format here in SDR. And then if I had an HDMI output connected here, it would actually tell me what the capabilities of that are. So this is really nice because it gives you a quick glance at the basically the connection flow and the signal information of your setup. Next up here, you'll have your audio. And so if I actually go in here and start moving around, you'll see the audio bars are jumping up and down here. It's probably very small, but yeah, so you get real-time preview of your audio up there. You can also listen to your audio. So this right here, the audio will simply play back through your headphones at that really low latency. And I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but when I mean, there's basically no delay between when I move on the controller and when I move and the movement, in the captured video. Um, the next thing is besides your signal information and your device info is just recording. So if you want to start recording, you just click this button right here. The screen gets a little red border around it, which we also heard feedback that some people don't like that. We heard you. We'll make that we'll make that optional. And then you have a big red recording indicator down here that shows you how long you're recording, as well as the size of the
That's
recording.
so nice.
And then there's also a hotkey that you can use to start or stop the recording, or of course, there's also a Stream Deck plugin. So when you're done recording, you can just hit stop there, and you'll notice at the bottom right, it immediately pops into your library. So I can just go into my video library here, open this up, and look at that. I've got a really beautiful
Wow, that's a great YouTube video, Phil.
Thank you. I probably shouldn't quit my day job. Yeah, the size on there is really nice because, even though, yes, usually hard drives are pretty big these days or SSDs, it's still nice to know that, oh, I'm at like 5 gigs, 10 gigs or something like that. Maybe I should pause the recording. You can also take snapshots. So if you just want to take a quick screenshot of what you're capturing, then you can do that. You just click it, and oh, there's that. Look at that. I didn't even know that was in there. I think that's new. Look, it does a little wiggle. It does a little wiggle to show you well, it gets your attention. This is some great UI UX. It gets your attention of where you should click next, and then it's just really cute.
It's
And
so
yeah, you
cute.
can
Hey, I wish
just
there
get
was an option
screenshots.
for like a hidden secret option for low sound effect, like a dee 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 dee.
Yippee!
Like
Yeah,
yippee.
one of those. Um, and then what else? Well, we can go through the settings here. So of course you can choose light and dark mode. Light mode for those of you who, for what there is a right and wrong with light and dark mode. Uh, we're gonna go ahead and stick with dark mode. There's of course software updates here. Whenever we have updates, you'll get pinged automatically. There's devices. So here you can see your devices as well as firmware updates and any information.
You don't want to click that drop down.
Which this one?
Oh, okay. We're good.
What?
We're good.
And then you have your recording options here. So you can select your max resolution that you want to record at. Now, this is called max resolution because, of course, what can happen is you could have a video input that is lower than that resolution, right? So if let's say I connected my Switch 1, well, it would only input 1080p, and I don't want to record 1080p at 4K. So what'll happen is our software will intelligently just record that at 1080p then. What you're basically picking is the upper boundary. Like if you have 4K input, record it at 4K. What this also means, though, if let's say you have a 4K input and you want to record that at 1080p, just set it to 1080p. You'll notice it actually changed up here right away. So you're basically just setting hey, go up to this level here. At the moment, everything is going to be recorded at 60 FPS as well. You can choose the recording path here, so where it records those files to. You can choose a prefix, like a name, and then the formatting as well. So if you want to do date and time in the file name, or if you want to do an incrementing number, like just 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that.
That's my style right there. My video 1
Just
and my
chaos.
video 152. That's me.
And then finally, you have this little help section here, and this just has a lot of incredibly useful resources. Like you can go to Reddit, you can go to Discord, you can go to our official help center here. So keep in mind on Reddit and Discord, that's community. If you do want to get in touch with someone from Elgato, you do want to go to our real help center. And then you can also view log files if you want to dive into that and third-party licenses.
Yeah, and a quick shout out
Yeah.
to the incredible people in our Discord and on our Reddit. Like, you guys are amazing. You're always helping each other out. You guys, you're sharing such good information when there's maybe people who are new to Capture or new to any of our products and they have these questions. We see you in our Discord answering those questions. So, yeah, if you have any additional questions or you want to hear how other people use our products, you can join our Discord. So, yeah, or if you love just talking streaming tech and peripherals in general, join our Discord. Lots of really awesome people over there and our Reddit as well. James says, what's the benefits of pass through? Asking for a friend.
There's a couple of really basic ones. One, the pass through will have that signal that is coming out of the console 1-to-1. So it's as if you plug your console directly into your TV. The second thing is it's going to be that same low latency that you would expect when you connect your console directly to the TV. If you do connect your device and you want to play in the preview, you absolutely can. The preview is a tiny bit of additional delay, right? That's just inherent because the video is being converted, then it goes to the computer, then the computer has to show it to you.
Yeah.
So that there just is a tiny amount of additional delay. If you're sensitive to that, if you're playing games that require like frame perfect input, like fighting games or again shooters, something like that, then you may just want to stick with pass through. But the cool thing is you have the option there. You can have it one way or the other. So yeah. um
Next question is from Nick. Do these perform better than the PCIe capture cards like the 4K 60 Pro?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So with capture cards, it's all about the capability of the device. In terms of like performing better, they all perform the same. You plug it in and it just works. It's about the capability of the device. Do you want 4K 60 HDR capture? Well, then you actually need to get our 4K Pro card. If you want something that's inside of your PC, well, get a PCI card. If you want something that's portable, mobile, that you could connect to your iPad or your laptop, well, then you get a USB one, right? So there's some fairly basic, I would say, like decisions to make there in terms of the like quote unquote performance that comes from the device's capabilities. So 4KX really great because it can do 4K 120 pass through, but it can't record 4K 120 because that's a lot of data and a lot of bandwidth.
Yep.
But it can record that or it can't record 4K 120 in HDR, but it can in SDR, thanks to that built-in tone mapping. So we have a lot of information and resources online as well. Like if you go on the product pages, you can actually get recommendations that we've put together. In fact, some of them from myself personally on which device is best for you in our capture card selector. And also we have a guide that tells you what you can capture. So if you select, like, I have a PS5, I have 4K video, 120 FPS with this product, then it'll tell you, oh, you can capture this, 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 and this. So we
Yeah.
put a lot of effort into making this stuff so easy to understand because quite frankly, it's not. It's not. It's a lot of numbers,
You're
a lot of
telling me,
info.
Phil, you're the like capture card expert. You're
Yeah.
telling me it's not easy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
thankfully our team makes it really, really easy to understand. And this is also a great chance. We have Phil here right now. Ask your capture card questions. We've trapped him here. He cannot leave. So, Mr. Video File himself, he's gonna answer your questions. So ask your questions about capture. And I actually have an idea. If you'll humor me for a sec, what if you and I hop in a Mario Kart World race? But you have to be answering questions while you play.
While I play,
Yeah.
that's crazy. We
What do you
could
think?
do that, but first I want to show how capture cards work with OBS Studio.
Okay, because we're low on time, so maybe we can't do that. More important is probably the OBS part.
Yeah. So this is Elgato Studio. This doesn't stream. It's just for setting up your device, making sure everything's working, and for recording really high quality footage. It's super easy, super simple, works on Mac and Windows. Let's say you do want to stream though. Then you can download and install OBS or Meld Studio. There's lots of different software out there. I'm just going to demo with OBS today. And oh, look at that. There's us. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete us.
No.
Take for example OBS here with a blank slate. Maybe you already have, a camera in there. Maybe you already have an overlay, etc. Adding a capture card is quite simple. In your scene, click the plus button, choose video capture device here, and then you can give it a name. In this case, I'm going to say HD69. Nice. HD60X. Gosh, I cannot type today. And then from the drop down, you simply select your capture card here. So you'll see Elgato HD60X or 4KX.
Oh,
And look at
that
that.
was
The
easy.
video's already there.
Easy peasy.
Incredibly simple, incredibly easy. There's a couple things you may want to pay attention to. The first one is this resolution dropdown. If you do want 4K video at like a certain resolution or a certain frame rate, you can select that right here. So you could select custom, you could go to resolution, and then select the exact resolution and frame rate that you want. Normally, it'll be okay on default, but just if you do want to make sure that it's the exact, matches what your what's coming in from your device, then you can select that here. The rest of this, I would just leave. Don't touch this unless unless you know what you're doing. So yeah, you're pretty much good there. So actually, Burrito, if you move the controller, we should be getting audio. Check that out. We've got
Yay.
audio there. Super
Whee!
easy, super
Mario
awesome.
Kart, Mario Kart, Mario Kart.
And yeah, so that's how easy it is to add it to OBS Studio. There are a couple other things that you may want to. Well, one thing good to know is on Mac, you do need to add another input called audio input capture, and then you want to select the capture card again. This is only for Mac. Don't ask me why, but you basically have to select the capture card input separately for audio. So you just go like that.
This is good to know for me too. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah. We are looking at improving that, so hopefully in the future you won't need to do that anymore. But for now, you add your video device on Mac and then your audio device on Mac. On Windows, you don't need it. On Windows, you just go like this, and you are all set. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but no, that's pretty much it. It's really quite simple. Pro tip, by the way, when you're using OBS, usually it'll add your device in like a little window like that, depending on the resolution. Just hit Control F, or I think on Mac Command F, and it just makes it
Oh
full
my god, no.
screen and fits it. Right there. Hey, are you just playing video games?
Yes.
You're supposed to be working right now.
I'm
Okay,
working. This is work.
that's crazy. I wish
No,
I could work and
my
play video
gameplay.
games. But yeah, and what you can see, or well, now you see us, but Burrito can actually play the game
During
just
work.
in the OBS preview, which makes this incredibly simple. Oh, I guess another pro tip. If we go back to demo here and you want to play in your OBS preview because you're, live streaming, then what we can do is go in here and we go to advanced audio. So in the audio mixer, right click on here, go to advanced audio
No,
properties.
you're sabotaging me.
Sorry. I'm trying to demo, okay?
Yeah, me too.
And then you go to HD60X here and see where it says audio monitoring. Set that to monitor and output. And what that will mean is it'll output the sound of the capture to your headphones and to the live stream at the same time. That way you can hear it, and that way the stream can hear it at the same time, or the recording if you do that. So
They kill you off when you're going backwards now. I can't go infinitely backwards for fun.
at least provide good gameplay. Oh, you're not getting sound from OBS? I can turn that on.
Do that. Boom, boom.
Hopefully it's not too loud. I'm going to turn it down.
Beep,
Oh, I
beep.
know why. Hang on one second.
He's cooking. This is why
If
he's
we-
the
if
tech
we
marketer
do-
over here.
Where's the audio output? There we go. That should do it. There we go. Hopefully it's not too loud. I'm going to turn it down
Alright,
on my side.
We do it again.
Okay. But yeah, so that's how easy it is to set up a capture card. Add that plus button, and then, hit video capture device, select your device, and then you can choose if you want the audio to come out, just to the stream or to your headphones as well. Any questions at this point?
Yeah.
So Burrito's going to keep playing while I'm
Yes,
talking. So this is like
exactly.
what is it like when you play Subway Surfers and are watching a video? So talking about audio, what can we expect in audio quality with each capture card options? So all of our capture devices capture in stereo audio, pure and simple. It's uncompressed, so what comes from the console's PCM, so the uncompressed audio. What goes to the software is also uncompressed. In this case, I believe it's 48 kilohertz, 16-bit audio, or even 24-bit. So yeah, it's just whatever comes from the console. Stereo. The reason for stereo, consoles can output surround sound, stuff like that. Reason for stereo is every place that you stream to or record to supports stereo. So, right, Twitch doesn't support surround sound. I believe YouTube does for videos. I'm not sure if they do for live streams. Most people aren't going to watch your content in surround sound. They're going to watch it in stereo, so that just makes it easy. What is cool though is with Switch 2, all the newer consoles, they all create like virtual surround sound for you. Our capture cards will capture that virtual surround sound because it's just in a stereo signal. So that means, if something is kind of behind you or in front of you or above you, then you're going to get that same effect during the capture, which is nice. So yeah, that answers that audio question, hopefully. Let's see. Burrito living the dream, getting paid to play. Yeah, this is what we do at Elgato all day long. With our cameras, we just sit there, turn them on. With our capture cards, we just sit there and play all day. Really not a lot gets done around here. All right, any other questions about capture? I do believe we are coming up on our time here for capture.
I'm first.
Pause
I can't believe
you
took my gameplay out. That's crazy.
What if
wow.
I just close the software? It's like it's an online game. I
Let
can't
it be
stop
known
it.
I was first.
Yeah.
DK tried, but I ended up first.
There is a question around, let's see. Will the new software work with the old 4K 60S Plus? No. So 4K 60S Plus was a somewhat special device back in the day, and it works in a very different way than our other capture cards. And so, no, unfortunately, that will not work in Elgato Studio. It does work in our 4K capture utility software, which kind of leads me to that next question there. Is Elgato Studio replacing 4K capture? And yes, it is. So 4K capture utility was great for its time. It did a lot of really cool things. It allowed 4K 60 recording back when we released our first 4K 60 capture card. But it also came with a lot of baggage and a lot of essentially tech debt and other things. And so with Elgato Studio, we've completely replaced, we've basically started from the ground up. It's a completely new user interface. It's a completely new, basically under the hood, all the tech and everything. You saw there during the demo, we've got our UX and UI team. They've really spent a lot of time optimizing it, making it nice based on everything that we've learned over the years of making capture devices to make it like the best easy to use
this is
software.
The next there's next gen console. This is next gen capture
Yep.
software. It's clean, it's very, very streamlined. We've really learned the kind of things that you want to do with your capture cards and the best way to do it. So yeah, Elgato Studio is really nice.
What we aren't going to be adding to Elgato Studio though, at least not that I know of, is streaming, because there's a lot of great streaming software out there like OBS Studio, Meld Studio. In fact, I see Brown Tolstar says TikTok Live Studio. All these studio software out there. Use one of those to stream. They all do their job really, really well. For us, we're going to give you software that lets you configure your device, do firmware updates, make sure it's all working right, record high quality video for streaming. You can use other software like OBS there. We'll leave that to those guys. In fact, we are looking at doing things with OBS Studio.
Yeah. I mean, we're a diamond sponsor of OBS.
We are.
We're fully supporting that mission. So
we also work closely with companies like Meld, making Meld Studio. We work with TikTok to make sure that our stuff works well. So we always want to make sure that our gear is working flawlessly in other software as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rita's passion project incoming. My own Elgato Studio live streaming software. If you were to use software that I made, well, that use is the first word there. That won't happen. You're not gonna be able to use it. I don't work in, my brain doesn't work like that. But shout out to our incredible team who's making awesome apps like Elgato Studio possible, because you don't want to put me on that project. You're not gonna have the project. But yeah, all that being said, I think this is a great time to switch over to our next hosts. And then we also have a great video by Vic, who was in chat earlier. She's going to be talking about Facecam Mark II, demoing how she uses Facecam Mark II in her setup. And there's something I want you to keep in mind when you watch her video. She's in a pretty dark room, right? So when you're looking at this, keep in mind, like, the background's pretty dark and you're watching webcam footage of that room. So she's going to show you how she fine-tunes her settings, and also some information about her LUTs that are available on Elgato Marketplace. And when she turns those LUTs on,
Ooh.
It's good. It looks great. So let's go ahead and check out that video from Vic, and then we'll also have a very special guest joining for the first time. So please give them a warm welcome. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out that video from Vic, and then we'll be talking about Facecam Mark II and our key lights that are on sale.
It's me, Vic. Hi, Elgato. Happy Prime Day, everybody. So, I'm excited to talk about something here, and it's called the Facecam MK.2. Now, these colors that I got, I have completely configured in Camera Hub, and we're going to actually talk about Camera Hub and the camera. So, the camera, one of my favorite features is the privacy slider. That's a nice quality of life touch. Now, let's go ahead and get into the software. So, as you can see in the bottom right, you have preview to prompter, where I disappear and I go to my prompter, or the grid, right? So the grid is very important if you're mounting the camera somewhere, right? You want to make sure that your camera is level. You also want to make sure that you're within the center, right? Because you are the focal point on a camera. But preview to prompter is like one of my favorite things to do because I do use the Elgato Virtual Cam 99% of the time. So this feature is great, especially for those who have the combo with the prompter. Now, the settings, right? There's some amazing settings. You can do face tracking. So, like, I love it. I don't constantly use it because I prefer to keep my camera at 130. I mean, you could zoom. I actually have a zoom feature, right? You could zoom. Then that's awesome. I love it. But I still keep it at 130. It's just my sweet spot. Now, picture configuration is going to be very much like a DSLR quality type setting. And depending on your lighting, you can also achieve it to get very cinematic looking visuals, and that's what I did. You could also use certain tools like ChatGPT if you wanted to walk you through how to EQ your camera. EQ is a thing. Just tweak your camera the way that you like it. Me, I like the natural colors. The cool thing about this camera is also it's an HDR camera. So HDR, right? And I just showed you real quick, like how quick it is to change that. And this is why I like using Elgato Virtual Cam and Camera Hub. Um, I do like the standard more so for that reason. Now we got it back to my normal setting. You can change the noise, you can change the white balance. White balance should match your lights. But that's like deep diving way into too much about the camera, but I'm just talking about like things that you can do with it, right? And I love that because once you find a setting that you're happy with, then you can play. And by play, I mean if you have a stream deck, right? Like for example, you have your effects or you can change your background. I could turn off the background right here and you all would see like yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of noise, but that's okay. I like the blur feature. It's one of my favorite. I keep it at like 25%. And then we showed off the zoom feature, but the other is LUTs. Oh yeah, let me pull that back up real quick here. So I created an action wheel on my Stream Deck just for my LUTs. Obviously, you see some with some names there that are not released on the marketplace yet, but they are coming. So the popular one is soft light, right? And I have mine at 50%. So if you look right here on the intensity, it's actually the value in the Stream Deck. And you can just cycle through those, right? So that is another unreleased one. It is coming. And then we have the next one, which is coming. It has been my favorite for the longest time, but I am working on a new one. So the new one is my new favorite. But this one is I'm really excited about this one too. I have it at 25%. It's perfect for those who have like the backlighting or whatever. Just keep it depending on your lighting conditions at like 25%. And then we have my new favorite, which is not released yet, but it will be coming soon. Anyways, I really love using the Facecam for this reason alone because you can do the virtual cam and use Camera Hub and use Stream Deck and it just works.
Hey, thank you so much, Vic, for that wonderful video. Those LUTs are very, very nice. And thank you, Omniscient Wolf, for the raid. We love our community. We love the raids. We're just very happy to be here to talk to you about.
Oh, we have a few things today,
We
Chris.
do. And first off, I don't think the stream has
Oh,
seen you before.
yeah. Have we met? Uh,
Briefly.
well,
Briefly.
this is my first time on here. My name is Dylan, and I'm the current social media intern here at Elgato. And thank you for having me, Chris.
Don't thank me, Dylan. Thank you for being here.
No,
with
thank
me.
you.
Oh no,
I
thank you.
insist.
Uh,
Thank you. Thank
let's
you.
just thank each other.
No,
It's a pleasure.
thank you.
That's right. We have Dylan here for his first time on an Elgato stream. Um, Real quick, I know we have to cover products, but how has your internship been so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. Playing Mario Kart. Oh wait, no, no.
No,
Learning
no,
a
no,
lot about products.
yeah.
It I've known of Elgato for years now,
Mm-hmm.
and as we all know, the Stream Deck. I've
Classic.
been a fan of Elgato ever since the first gen. And it's come a long way, hasn't it?
It's come a very long
Yes.
way from, you know, first gen Stream Deck Mini, Stream Deck XL, then Stream Deck Neo, Stream Deck Pedal, Stream Deck Plus, now the accessories for the Plus, Stream Deck Mobile. It's
There's no excuse to not have a Stream Deck anymore.
right,
There's just too many variants.
it's only gonna get better.
Oh, definitely. But we have some things that are outside of Stream Deck today.
We do, yes. We are talking video, lighting, and the corresponding software that goes along with our cameras.
That's right.
So what would you like to start with?
So I am a pretty video biased person personally.
Okay.
I just said person twice. But I think we should start with this right here, Chris.
The Facecam Mark II.
Yes, because this one is actually pretty exciting, especially when you start connecting it with Camera Hub.
Absolutely. And yesterday when Brito and I were on, they were naming the bundles if employees or people on stream had them. So I think I see Dylan's Delirium Dream bundle. I like that. That's got a good ring to it. Delirium Dream.
I like that one.
That's a good handle too. Delirium Dream.
Yeah. Feel free to call me that for the rest of the stream.
Dylan Delirium Dream. Call you that.
That's a tongue twister, honestly.
We'll figure it out. But yes, Facecam Mark II.
Yes.
So this is our new iteration of our Facecam webcam. So with this newish, it launched a little while ago, but this is the Mark II of the 1080p 60 webcam. But it does a couple things a little bit differently. Did you want to talk about them?
Yeah, sure. Let's actually hop into Camera Hub
Absolutely.
real quick, too.
As if you were here earlier, we have a Facecam Mark II set up here. So if we can go ahead and sorry about that. I mean, sorry about the memes.
What was that?
I just having a little fun, just having a little meme. So let's get here we go. I believe it's still in OBS. So is it? No, it's not. Okay,
Are we playing?
pop this out and
Oh, hi.
there we go. You guys can see us. So this is Camera Hub. So when we're talking about our cameras or our webcams, whether you're using Facecam Neo, Facecam Mark II, or Facecam Pro, all of those are usable or used with our Camera Hub software. And this software really just takes our webcams to the next level. You have controls that you only see on DSLRs, like ISO control, exposure settings. Obviously, you get your contrast, your saturation, your sharpness, but really, Camera Hub just takes our face cams to the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially if you have familiarity with color correction, color grading, it's going to give you a little bit of a dive into that. So if we can look at the left side of the screen,
Absolutely.
we have the settings that are, let's say, under picture or exposure. You can control specific settings like your contrast, your saturation, your sharpness, your vibrancy. That's all really going to give every single creative a full control over how their picture looks.
Absolutely. And then, for exposure, I already mentioned those DSLR-like controls. So with Facecam 4K, you have the ability to turn on and off automatic exposure if you want to manually adjust that, that ISO. Lower ISO, closer to 100, you're going to get more detail with less light. That's why lighting is so important when looking at cameras and video. More light means the sensor in your webcam can pull in more of that footage. Doesn't have to work as hard if that ISO number is lower, closer to 100. So that's why, we mentioned earlier this week, like when we were talking about lighting, is you might have the best camera in the world, but if you don't have proper lighting, it's not going to look as good as you think.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you mentioned you have a camera background, correct? That's
Mhm.
kind of where you come from. You know, how many lights do you use when you're doing video shoots or, content creation compared to your camera? Like, what's kind of the ratio you go with?
Well, the ideal setup is to have, everyone wants to have a fill light in the back, a key light in front of you, and a backlight, kind of hitting the back of the subject.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the ideal trio. I
Okay.
believe I got the wording right. And, we kind of have that right now as well.
Absolutely.
That is why the image looks beautiful, on the main camera as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you accompany those three factors with a face cam, there's been people who have said they didn't know Facecam or the quality from the Facecam was a webcam.
A 1080p 60
Yeah.
webcam. Yeah.
Some people have assumed it was a DSLR,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty impressive.
It's a great camera. We're gonna get a little bit more into it, but yeah, with Facecam Mark II, you do get the ability to adjust that ISO manually with the ability to also turn off those automatic settings with exposure, being able to adjust your shutter speed, your ISO, and also for the first time in our webcam, it has HDR video in a webcam, which is a little bit different. We just talked about capture cards. So, it's a little bit different from your HDR that's on the capture card. This is more HDR video in a camera. And so I'm going to go ahead and showcase that real quick right here. So we have it on standard dynamic range. And what dynamic range in a webcam means, it's actually taking two instances of video input. It's taking an overexposed image as well as an underexposed image, and it's kind of meshing them together to give you that perfect look, depending, doesn't depend, it's not dependent on your lighting. It kind of takes a little bit more control. So I'm going to go ahead and click this to high, and we're going to see it just, I don't know if you guys saw it live. I'll do that again, but on standard,
Oh, we're frozen.
uh-oh. When you're doing live demos, it always seems to happen. Oh, we had a
Oh,
little
there
bit,
we go.
a little bit of a reset.
So-
Apologies. But yeah, so standard, you can kind of see a little bit of the brights behind us, our face. We do have a lot of lighting around here. But then if we go ahead and once more, just click on high, we can see all of that kind of a little bit of overexposure that's behind us, especially on the wall behind us, on our face. We get a little bit softer. It looks really clean with that HDR video
Mhm.
on Facecam Mark II.
And from here, this picture format that we have right here, it looks a little flatter and it's obviously much darker. So this is where you can start to play with the settings a little more.
Exactly. Yeah. You can boost your lighting as well if you want to get a little bit more on you. If you think this is a little too dark. I think this is so good. This is so crisp and so clean for me. I like it. I like my camera a little bit darker. I like that kind of that moody, mysterious feel
Mhm.
in my camera. So this to me is awesome. But going down, what do we got? Would you say it's
Helvetica says it would
crispy?
be crisp.
I believe it's crispy, like crispy.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Get out. Thank you, Vic. Agreed.
I thought that was a good one.
It is a good one. We'll give it to her. Going down to talk about white balance. Just like how we have the ability to turn on and off automatic exposure, we have the ability to turn on and off automatic white balance. I like to keep this on automatic, playing around with the temperature and the tint. To me, I think automatic does a really good job. If
Mhm.
we were to turn it off to manual, we get a very cool blue image,
Looks
which
cold.
then we can, adjust with this slider here. If we want to get a little bit more warm, we can bring it down to cold again. And also we have tint control now in Camera Hub. This was something that was asked for a while. So now you have the ability to control the tint for your image. But I'm just going to go ahead and turn that back on to automatic. It's going to figure it out again. And now we're going to look crisp. We're going to look crispy and
Crispy.
cleaner than ever. We also have a little bit of processing down here if you want to turn on or off a little bit of the noise reduction. But really, right here, this image, and we don't have any lighting coming from this way. So there's no light behind the camera. It's all illuminating this side, as you can see on my cheek, on Dylan's face. We have one behind us, but there's nothing, ideally, when you have a webcam, you want a light behind the camera to illuminate your side of the face. So as I'm staying here, it might look a little bit dark, especially because I have my hat on, so the shadow is hitting my eyebrows and my nose and stuff like that. But ideally, you would want a light or two on this side to illuminate your face for whatever vibe you're going for. But at the end of the day, it's all personal preference, how
Mm-hmm.
you want it to look. But Facecam Mark II, 1080p 60 image with HDR, and also privacy
Goodbye.
shutter. That was something that came as a cap for our original Facecam. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think a lot of our community might agree with this. I lost that cap in about
Yeah.
10 minutes. So with Facecam Mark II, it does have that privacy shutter built in, so you can click, or you can not click, but you can slide it to make sure that everything is staying private if you're not using the camera at that moment.
And let's actually go back to how you were messing with the settings,
Yeah,
and you were saying you can actually make the create the look that is specific to you.
yeah.
And I think that's my favorite part about Camera Hub, along with its coherence with Facecam Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stuck to just one camera setting for everything. Like
Correct.
the way that your picture looks is not going to look the same as everyone else's.
Yep.
And you could control that white balance, that tint, the lighting. If you want a darker mood, like I personally like brighter picture, you like
Okay.
darker picture.
Exactly.
Exactly. We could be using the same software, same camera, and have completely different looks.
And what's also great about Facecam Mark II is it has onboard storage. So what Dylan was just talking about, where if you were moving, you're moving the camera around, or you're going into different scenarios where the lighting might be different, or you just want to make sure that how you look is saved, no matter if you change PCs, or you're going around your house or apartment with your laptop, you're taking meetings in different areas. All we need to do is come up to the top here, this little blue save button, and click that. And all of the settings that we just set to get your perfect image or my perfect image are now saved right to the camera. So if I was to unplug this Facecam Mark II, go to a different part of the office, plug it in the computer, this image would be saved. It doesn't save, right? It's not saved to the computer, it's saved to the camera itself, which is huge for those use cases.
Yes. And also, sometimes you might want to make sure you have the same LUT enabled.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and check out that effects tab right there.
Yeah, Vic showcased this in the great video that they made right before this. So, you want to talk about LUTs?
I love LUTs.
Talk about them.
They save so much time. Some people might call them a cheat code, but that is for a good reason.
What does LUT stand for? For those that don't know, like, what is a LUT?
It is a lookup table. Is that what it stands for?
Lookup table. Yes,
Lookup table?
yes.
I just see LUTs as saving a lot of time. Obviously, you should always kind of configure specific settings after applying a LUT. A LUT won't be perfect when you apply it, but it is going to give you a unique look. So let's go ahead and look at those LUTs that we have at the bottom where
Oh,
Sean is waving at
yeah,
us.
we got a couple LUTs with Sean as our model in these. So these are going to be different kind of color. They're colored LUTs, right? I mean, that's what a LUT is. It's a color kind of profile that you put on top of your camera to give it a certain vibe or feel with the image. So, and if you use Camera Hub and you use an Elgato camera, in the effects tab, you will find the LUTs here, and we have some of our own. You can see these: Coffee Break, Vivid Boost, Film Noir, Hollywood, and True Tone by Elgato. So these are all ones that come loaded into Camera Hub. But you also have the ability to add your own. If you were to click this little add here, you click on that. We have these here, and if you are a professional filmmaker, or you're a budding content creator and you know what you want your camera to look like, and you have a LUT, or you found a LUT that you want to use, you can then upload it into Camera Hub and activate it right here on this tab. So let's see what we got here. So let's start with Coffee Break. So let me actually take the grid off. It's a little distracting. But let's go ahead and turn Coffee Break on.
Should I make the same pose as Sean in that?
Go ahead. Yeah, let's do it together. Up, be this hand. Yeah, if we're following Camera Hub, it's be this hand. So let's see. We'll do it off. So a little bit cooler tone with the HDR on. So if we add Coffee Break, it's going to give us a little bit of a warmer tone, a little bit more Yeah, flattering skin tones. It adds a little bit of pink to our
Mm-hmm.
skin. Very similar to, our camera here where it's a little bit more warm. Let's go over to Vivid Boost. So from off, again, a little bit cooler. Vivid Boost, yeah, a couple different changes here. What does the description read? It says cranks up contrast and saturation for bold, brilliant clarity. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
It does add that little bit of contrast and saturation.
You'll see that more in like the vibrant colors, like the marketplace sign back there.
Sure, yeah. Let me move over.
Wait,
Let me
why
move
am I
over a little
moving?
bit. You might lose my voice, but if we, I can
It does
definitely
glow
see,
a little
yeah,
more.
the pink and the blues definitely pop a little bit more. But let's get a little old school, shall we?
Oh,
If we go off to the original camera feed coming in, and we go to film noir,
whoa.
you got your gray tones, your 1940s, detective.
I feel older.
I hear your sister's missing. I'm the only detective in town that knows how to find her.
Wait, what happened to my sister?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were just.
Oh,
I
you were
thought
acting.
I thought we were just
Oh,
RPing for a second.
oh,
I,
oh,
with the
oh,
film
oh,
noir,
oh.
I
Sorry,
got a little.
it got a little too realistic for
I
me.
apologize. Yeah.
Wow, he has an acting background.
But yeah, so you can get a little film noir, a little grayscale. Shoot in monochrome, black and white for bold, stylish looks. Sister lore. Okay, coming over to Hollywood. So subtle warmth and highlights create a polished film-like finish. Okay, again, a little bit warm, some pink in the skin. Yeah, a little warmth to us.
A little warm.
Definitely, definitely the colors on the sign are just gonna pop a little bit more. And then moving over to True Tone, balances colors for a true to life look in most lighting conditions. Okay, yeah. So adding these LUTs can definitely elevate your camera to just give you a little bit more color or clarity, depending on the situation, depending on the lighting. LUTs are going to be completely different for every person. You might want the warm ones. You might want the cool ones. You might want to give some more contrast and saturation in the skin, or you might want to, use something like film noir. And all of these are completely controllable, and you can enable them, you can disable them with Stream Deck. All of
Mm-hmm.
these can be turned on and off with Stream Deck. Do it with the tap of a key. I know we talked about Stream Deck yesterday, or was that Tuesday? This week kind of blurred together. Forgive me. But yeah, all of them are completely enabled and disabled with Stream Deck if you kind of want to do it with certain parts of your stream.
And if those LUTs weren't really enough for you, the ones that are already preloaded in the software,
Oh,
sorry, I stood that up.
getting a little angry.
You can actually find more LUTs by other creators on Marketplace.
Absolutely.
From creators like Vic, who's in the chat right now, who actually just corrected me that a LUT, it is lookup table, but it's really just defined as a color matrix. That was the right wording that I was looking for.
Okay.
But yeah, creators like Vic and many others, they have a lot of LUTs that we could check out right now
Absolutely.
in Camera Hub.
And so yeah, so
the
actually,
Marketplace.
if you are looking to see what we have on our marketplace and you have Camera Hub, it's actually really easy to get there. Just up here, right in the top right-hand corner, right under the the minimize and X, click on the little marketplace icon, and it will take you right to the Camera Hub section of the Elgato marketplace, where then we can click on camera LUTs. We have, we have lovely Sean here. We have Luca DePazzi here, who has created, a member of the community who has created their own as well. So you have old Kodak vibes, a touch of saturation, contrast, and vibe. So if you are looking to change up your camera a little bit and you want to try out a LUT, head over to the Elgato marketplace and see what we have, because there are a lot here and it is constantly growing. We have some from our good friend Harris. Atheon is up here. Yeah, have fun with it. It's just a click. If you don't like it, you click it off. It's real simple. I have seen some questions come in. Do we want to answer some of them?
Yeah, let's go ahead and answer this one right here. Can the Camlink Pro be used for streaming?
Can Camlink Pro be used for streaming? Seeing at the moment I am running splitters, etc., just to get both game PC and console signal to the right capture card. Absolutely. Camlink Pro can be used for streaming 100%. Within your choice of software, whether it is OBS or Meld, when you're going to add a video capture device or video input device, you will see each and every HDMI port. So HDMI 1 through 4, as Camlink Pro has 4 HDMI ports on it. And then you would just select each individual HDMI port with the corresponding camera that is
Hmm.
connected to those ports. It is absolutely 100% usable for streaming.
Does Camera Hub only work on Elgato web cameras?
Yes, currently it
Hmm.
does. Yes, for Elgato webcams, that is what Camera Hub is used for those cameras. Yes.
Awesome.
Yep, and just like Brito said in chat, Camlink 4K as well. I apologize. Camlink, if you are using Camlink 4K, that also incorporates itself into Camera Hub.
Awesome. And I think we have a few other
I
things
believe so. Yeah.
here.
Do we have any other questions? We have one more. Here we go. Um, Are these Camera Hub features available and or compatible with the original Facecam? They absolutely are, yes. So the things like the manual exposure modes, such as the ISO and the shutter speed and everything else, is available with the original Facecam. Just make sure you update your software. Make sure the firmware for Facecam, the original Facecam, is up to date, and you should be good to play around and edit anything you need with these same settings. Any others? That's it for now. Okay. So we talked a little about camera. Did you want to add anything, by the way?
We pretty much covered a lot on Camera Hub alone. Um, but I think it's time to talk about the items that will kind of complement your Facecam Mark II. We were talking about how we don't have it directly behind ours right now.
Right here. Correct.
Yes. So there's something we're kind of lacking over there, and that would actually be lighting.
Absolutely. So that brings us to a great point. I just want to touch on one last thing before we touch on this. If I can get the demo up again, actually, I can do it real quick. We also have, so we talked about LUTs, but we also have the ability to change, to add an AI background with the in let's see here. Sorry, had a brain fart. AI backgrounds with oh, we have an echo apparently.
Is my mic too close to
Test,
yours?
test, test. 1, 2. Is it still there? Better fixed. Got it. Okay, cool. But yeah, so AI background removal with NVIDIA GPUs. So we can add, AI bokeh blur, and you can adjust the strength right here underneath, as well as, doing things like adding some cool backgrounds and, having fun with it. You can add different, PNGs. You can add GIFs. So this one actually moves behind you. Oh, it's back. Fixed. Okay. We're just going to keep going and try to figure it out. But yeah, let's go ahead and add our Keylight Neo on top of the monitor. Dylan watching chat meltdown. Just keep talking. Cool.
Yeah, so Keylight Neo is going to be the lighting accessory in our Neo ecosystem. And I think one thing that is pretty unique about all the Neo products is the eco-friendly environmental factor of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I believe Keylight Neo is made of 60% recycled plastics,
I believe,
right?
yeah, I believe it's definitely up there. I'm not sure on the exact percentage, but it is, a lot of it is recycled plastic.
That is awesome. And
And
also the packaging is made to also be environmentally friendly, using less
absolutely.
water,
Yep.
no
Yep.
colors in the box.
The original packaging, yes, had zero color. Actually, it was just black
Yes.
and white because we wanted to really. It was some crazy statistic when I learned about it. It's like every ounce of ink that you put on a box uses like a gallon of water or something like that. Don't quote me on that. It was something around those numbers. But it was quite a bit of water is used for each ounce of ink.
That's a lot of water.
So yeah, that was a very awesome initiative that we took with all of our Neo products, the entire Neo line.
Yeah, and that does apply to the other ones as well, like Wave Neo, which you saw yesterday, I believe.
Yep.
And yeah, that's really something that is different with other products that we have seen before. Um, and it's good for the earth. It's good for the
And
earth.
we love the Earth. We love it.
Yes.
Yeah, Game Capture Neo, Wave Neo, Facecam Neo, Stream Deck Neo, and Keylight Neo all had that environmentally friendly packaging.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but let's talk about Keylight Neo. As you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, we didn't have a light behind our camera, so that's where we can start with Keylight Neo. As you can see, Keylight Neo is a smaller form factor light compared to our Keylight Mark II. We can showcase this here. So this is Keylight Neo. You can also see onboard controls there on the edges. If I set down our Keylight Mark
Wow,
II,
heavy.
yeah. So it has a dial to adjust color temperature and brightness, which you can then click in to change those settings. So one click for brightness, click it in again, go over to color temperature. We have a power button here in the top corner. And then we also have presets on the other side. So if you want to use a certain warm color temperature with X amount of brightness during the day, and then you want to change to maybe a cooler blue with more brightness at night to really illuminate your face for whatever you're using it for, you can go ahead and just click these onboard presets that you can set yourself on Facecam Neo to make it really easy. So you don't actually have to go into any software if you don't want to. So do you want to set this up real quick for me?
Yeah. Do you want it over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have to stay. Would it be easier? You want me to do it? Yeah. Why don't you vamp for a little bit and I'll
Yeah.
plug this in.
One of the actual other highlights that I've heard about from a lot of consumers about the Keylight Neo is its portability. It's much smaller than regular Keylight. I don't have it in my hand anymore, but you could trust me, the Keylight Neo is about this big, and I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I bring it with me to meetings," or "I brought it with me to a cafe for a meeting." Are there any other use cases that you've heard about the portability, Chris?
In terms, so you mentioned cafes meetings. What was the other
Yeah.
ones?
I've heard from other people that they brought their Keylight Neo to, let's say, a cafe or on the go, even at an airport. I could have sworn I've seen someone at an airport in LA
I mean,
with one.
Keylight Neo is the perfect accompany light to if you are working from home or you travel. Like we just showed, it is small form factor. It comes with a monitor stand, so you can mount it wherever you want. That stand does come off to a 1/4 inch thread, like our other lights do, so you can mount it as well if you want to do that. And while it does have onboard controls, it is still 100% able to be controlled over Wi-Fi, like any
Mm-hmm.
of our other lights. So you have a lot of options there, and also just like everything, it's controllable with Stream Deck.
Oh, of
On,
course.
off,
That is
color
always the
temperature,
first priority.
brightness, all of those features are completely controllable with Stream Deck as well. So we've gone ahead and set up our Keylight Neo. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can do something here. I'm going to showcase how we see the camera now that we have a little bit of lighting here. And so as you can see, now my face is a little bit more illuminated. My cat is still giving me a shadow a little bit, but that's okay. And now we're gonna adjust color temperature. So as we can see, we're gonna get a little bit more warm because we're using it for the warm light. But if we want to click it in and change the brightness there, we can see it on camera.
And there's definitely one there because you
Yep.
could see it in
You can
Chris's
you can
glasses.
see you can see it here going up and down. Just give that little bit of accent lighting.
Mm-hmm. And I believe you can also change the temperature.
Absolutely. So right now I'm on the cool blue and you can see it behind me as well. Or we can change it to warm white as well. So that is just controllable here. But what's also great about Keylight Neo is it comes with this extension cable. So let's go ahead and see if we can't do this. Up. What's up?
It's the other side.
You are correct. We have our fellow assistant here helping us. So yeah, the extension cable allows you to run a longer length of cable with it. So you can, it doesn't have to be, mounted onto your monitor. It can very simply be, taken wherever you need it with the extension cable as well. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it
Can
right
you
there.
fit a Keylight Neo in your pocket?
Can I fit a Keylight Neo in my pocket? Those are some big pockets. You might have to wear I
Probably
don't know.
cargo
Are you
pants.
familiar with Jinko jeans?
Jinko jeans.
Those might be before your time. I might have just aged myself
2003?
a little bit. Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Vic.
I'm very sorry.
Jinko jeans were just a nice fad back in the day. But yeah, so now we have Keylight Neo with the extension cable, and as you can see, click it in, it will flash, and then we can adjust the brightness. Oh, this is on color temperature. Our camera here might not pick it up as well as the other ones, but this side
Here,
camera
you can use
might.
my face as a...
Ooh. So you can see the brightness there, and then now we're on cool blue. Now we're on warm white. Click that in for brightness. And as you click that in, you can see it flashing on Dylan's face. So see here. Yeah, our lighting here is just too good. It's going to be a little hard to see. But yeah, with the dial, everything's controllable. Brightness, color, temperature, all that good stuff. And then the presets that are here, you can hold them down. You will get a flash. And then you know that your profile is then saved, or your preset is then saved to that setting.
Presets in a portable light.
Presets in a portable light that you can set yourself. Absolutely.
Wow. I think we just love saving people time.
Saving people time and saving people, making you look good.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So that's Keylight Neo. Very powerful. A great little accessory light for traveling, for working from home. Monitor stand, onboard controls. The only other light that has onboard controls is ring light as well. So if you're looking for a light with onboard controls, and Keylight Mini, we had one for that as well. If you're looking for a light, small accessory light for your everyday needs with onboard controls, check out Keylight Neo. It's a great little light.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a bigger light to also talk about.
Are you going to test it the same way you just did?
I won't do that.
Okay, because I'm seeing spots.
That's a lot more lumens than
yeah,
Keylight Neo.
this is much larger.
It's much larger, yeah. But
yeah, let's talk about the bigger one, the big brother.
Keylight Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that panel.
Much heavier.
It's upside down. There we go.
There we go.
So go ahead and set this up. Keylight Mark II does come with our Master Mount L. So if you've ever, it does come with the mounting solution. So this is our telescopic pole, which also, as we talked about yesterday, has the clamp system that has the ratchet feature here at the bottom. So we talked about clamping your mic arms before, but for lighting, since generally you will put the clamp behind your desk, if the desk is up against a wall, it might be very difficult for you to fully turn the clamp handle before the handle itself bumps against the wall. And you're like, oh, now I got to pull out my desk, then spin it, then push my desk to the wall. If you weren't here yesterday, on the clamp, there is this feature here. If we can get the side camera real quick, that might be beneficial. I'm going to use Keylight Neo to illuminate it. As you can see, it's here. If you pull the clamp down, you can see it move there. That will cause it to enter like a ratchet kind of system, kind of technology, to where if you rotate it, the clamp itself doesn't move. So now we can spin this, you hit a wall, pull down, rotate, it won't move the clamp if you pull down the handle. That's a really, really kind of secret thing that it's a feature, but we don't really address it as much. So if you are a user of Elgato Master Mount L or S or our mic arms, and you need a little bit of ease of use, pull down the handle. Now you have a ratchet where you don't have to struggle to tighten or loosen your clamps. So yep, go back to here, and what we're gonna do is tighten this guy on. So now we have our master mount L system. Dylan, you want to go ahead and put that light right there on that 1/4-inch thread?
Of course. Here,
I'll hold this for you.
I found a new method of screwing these on.
Really? What is that method?
You loosen this right here, and then when you just go ahead and thread it, you just twist it. Before, I used to just spin the whole light for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
He's
not,
learning.
not the most flattering way of
He's
doing it.
learning, everyone. My young Padawan.
And there you go.
There we go. Easy as that to set up. We have the power cable here. What we're going to do is we're going to plug it in. And Dylan, why don't you go ahead and turn that bad boy on?
You want me to point it at you?
Please do.
Okay.
And there we go. Now our key light Mark II is plugged in. That light is being output. You can see it on the back of my hand. And let's see if, should we set it up?
Oh, yes.
See how easy it is?
Of course.
Cool. So when you first get your key light Mark II, you want to hold the reset, and it should flash a couple times to let you know that it is now ready to pair with your current Wi-Fi. There we go. No. I don't. Oh, the back. There we go. Just talk to us. It's fine. So yeah. So there we go. So we have a on-off reset button on the back here. It did flash as I was turning it. So now just give me 1 second to set this up.
I think one of the more fun parts about this key light is its compatibility, again, with Stream Deck, specifically the Stream Deck Plus, because you know about the dials that we have, and you can actually control these key lights with the dials. So when I first got to play around with the key light, I had a Stream Deck Plus with me. I couldn't stop just spamming the dials to either change the Kelvin or the brightness of it. I did lose a little vision from doing that though, because it was just a blinking light at me.
There we go. It did. I don't know if you guys saw, but it did blink 3 times, letting me know that that was the accessory that was found. And give me 1 second.
Let's make sure they can see the light.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do some cable management too.
Please
while
do,
we're
yeah.
at it.
With the Master Mount L, it does come with these clips that are attached to it, and they're great for running the cable down the length of the Master Mount L, which this is, again, which this comes with. Go ahead and I'm just going to enter the Wi-Fi password.
We always want to make sure that these products look good in your setup. So we don't want to see just a stray cable like this. So make sure, please, cable manage, use the clips that come with the Master Mount.
And we are currently connecting our Wi-Fi to the Keylight Mark II.
Do you want to show what it looks like when you are connecting it?
Absolutely. So let's see here. So this is the demo. So this is Control Center, if you weren't familiar with Elgato lighting products. Control Center is one of our, it's our software for our lighting. And this is what it looks like when we have other key lights already paired to it. So as you can see, Studio Desk key light left. I don't know if we can go to the main scene real quick. As you can see, we can turn on off. There we go. The one above me, up this shoulder. We can go ahead and click on off within the Control Center app, or just like everything, you can map those lighting controls to a Stream Deck. So if we can go back over to the demo real quick, as you can see, the Studio Keylight Desk Keylight left is off. but also I can do this one above me here to showcase that by clicking that on and off, you can turn on and off your lights completely wirelessly. But this light here, we just added. That's the one up top here, the Elgato Key Light Mark II. In Control Center, you can hop in here and rename it. So we can do this demo key light, just so we know. And now it's saved as demo key light. With the Keylight Mark II, it does have the ability for 5.0 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so we can actually get a signal reading as well right here in Control Center. So you can, if you're like, why isn't my light working? You can actually see if it is connected and talking to your Wi-Fi. Now we can see if we can turn this a little bit. We can actually use Keylight Mark II, or sorry, Facecam Mark II to showcase the brightness. So we can change color temperature. As you can see, it did go blue. I adjusted it to very, very cool blue. Or if we go to the other side, now we have very, very warm white on that color temperature level. This is at, what is it, 20% brightness. That is usually about the default that it starts at. And these lights get very bright, extremely bright. This is at 20. Let's just, if we can turn it on, now, the camera is going to do a good amount of justice with that HDR on, but as we can see, I can't even look at it. You can see my face, how bright I'm getting. We turn it up. That is at 100% brightness. This entire wall is being illuminated now. So I generally recommend around 20 to 30% is perfect for if these are close on your desk or on your table. That is going to give you plenty of light for whatever you need. And it was set up in about 15 seconds just by syncing it to the current Wi-Fi that you're using.
Doesn't get easier than that. And you saw wirelessly he was turning off those ones over there. Was that an accident or was that on purpose?
That was on purpose, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I can do it again. As you can see, I am not touching that light. All of my lighting in the studio is controlled via Camera Hub, which then you can set up and control with Stream Deck. Dylan, want to move your head real quick so we can showcase both of them? There we go. So both those are off, and now both of them are on completely wireless.
Makes everything easy for you. Oh, also, there is a feature to turn off the key lights with your PC as well, right? When you turn off your PC, or they turn on when you turn on your PC?
Yes.
So for those who don't want to, is that how it works?
I possibly, I'm actually not sure.
Oh.
That was part of. Oh, with the most recent update, when you turn off your computer, your lights will also turn off if the Control Center software turns off as well.
Yes. Which if it saves you a few seconds, but it is nice to not have to think about that or save electricity as well when you do turn off your setup.
Yeah, because I have been there where I've gone to, if I log off from my computer and you go, oh, my lights are on.
And then you got to reach all the way over to.
Yep, I've been there multiple times before. But yeah. So with Keylight Mark II, Keylight Neo, Facecam Mark II, and Camera Hub, what do you think our community should buy with these Amazon Prime Day
Prime,
or sales?
Everyone, Amazon Prime. Okay, so obviously, like I stated earlier, Chris, I love the Facecam Mark II. And along with Camera Hub that you could use with it. But after what we just talked about, I'm actually kind of swaying towards Keylight right now.
And I believe it's at its like cheapest ever. I think it's
Really?
$137.99 for a Keylight. And while that may sound a little bit on the pricier side, especially if you're going through Amazon looking at lighting products, our community can speak for themselves. But I know people that have had their key lights for 7+ years and they still go strong as the day they've bought them. I know I've been using my key lights for 6 years and I use them every day, and zero issues. They light super evenly with the diffusal plate here. So the edge lit inside key light with the diffusal plate, it's going to light you super evenly across your face. You're not going to get any hot spots. As long as it's synced to your Wi-Fi, you're going to, have you heard about Amazon?
Amazon Prime stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna light you evenly. Distribution's gonna be, across your face with no hotspots, completely controllable with Stream Deck, or Control Center software on your computer. It's just an amazing light. I think we have 2 questions as well. What if 2 persons on the same Wi-Fi, will the key lights be seen on both devices? So if you share Wi-Fi, yes, they will be seen on both devices. However, if you go to the control center settings, if we can hop over to demo, and you hide them, hiding them is per software on the computer. So if you hide yours, so 2 people in one household, you both have lights. You name them and you hide the other person's, it won't hide them for the other person. It is per instance on your computer. That is how I use it in my household. I have other people in my house with key lights as well, and so as to not confuse us with each other's key lights, you can then make sure that this person has theirs and you have yours. Next question.
Does the key lights work with iOS and Android controlling?
Absolutely. We have a mobile app as well for Control Center, where if you aren't using, if you don't have a Stream Deck, but you want to control them with your mobile phone, Control Center has an amazing app on iOS and Android that allows you to turn on, turn off, control color temperature and brightness right there on your mobile phone.
Wow.
I actually, that is how I actually got into Stream Deck a little bit. Is I actually owned a key light before I owned a Stream Deck, so I
Oh, really?
used my phone for a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I just got crispy
you
lore.
got crispy
Crispy
lore,
lore.
and like Okatech said, 6 free keys with Stream Deck Mobile as well.
And you know what one of those keys can be?
On off key light. Think about it.
Amazon Prime Day.
Amazon Prime deals, free Stream Deck Mobile, 6 free keys, Wi-Fi controllability. Any other questions? One more? No? Oh, that was a no. Okay. I want Amagon. So I think, let me look at the schedule real quick to see what we're moving on to after we talk about
I
camera
want to
light.
get a quick vote. Do you guys prefer Amazon Prime or Elgato Milk? I'm really wondering. It's
Ooh.
a heated discussion right now. Heated battle. Elgato Milk votes. Okay. A Camlink 4K just spawned in.
Elgato Mulk. That's someone who's from the Midwest. It's Mulk.
Ooh, seems like Milk is winning. We need to shed a little more light on Amazon Prime.
So it looks like one of our fellow compatriots here on the stream is about to hand us the next thing we're talking about. Let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead and take this down real
Yep.
carefully.
Make some
Our
room.
beloved key light.
Yes, I will take the cable. Oh, I just popped off the cable. Perfect. So I don't want you to get tangled.
Thank
And I'll
you.
give you that. And we will set this aside for now. Thank you, Dylan, for taking that. And I will take this. I will take this first. So perfect. So we are about to jump into. There was a message earlier about Camlink Pro can be used for streaming. So we are going to talk a little bit about Camlink 4K, our USB HDMI to USB dongle for that exact occasion.
So I know we just talked about using Facecam Mark II and the quality of it being nearly as impressive as using a DSLR.
Correct.
Now, let's see what it actually looks like when we are using a mirrorless or DSLR camera, which is mainly achievable using, that is moving by itself, using this right here. So this is Camlink 4K, and all this is HDMI in, USB out. Or did I get that order right? Yeah.
HDMI in, USB.
HDMI in,
Yep.
USB out. Easy as that. So here we have an HDMI cable hooked up to our mirrorless camera right here. And also we're also showing it with a mic arm right now.
Is that Mic Arm Pro? It is Mic Arm Pro. We talked about this yesterday. And the white one is on sale. Thank you, Burrito.
So let's put
we do
with
have one
a
question, it looks
question.
like, before we start. Is there a way to group key lights? I own 2 key lights and a ring light. Sometimes I want to turn just the key lights and not the ring light. Sometimes the ring light, sometimes all 3. It would be awesome to group both key lights together. So if you're talking about in Control Center software, they will be separate. But if you do own a Stream Deck, what you can do is you can create a multi-action to control your various lighting devices. Chris's mic audio is playing twice. Is there something triggering? Test, 1, 2. I'll just keep going. We'll figure it out. So create a multi-action on Stream Deck, and then with that, you can drag both on and offs for those key lights onto the single perfectly audible still, no worries. Drag both on and off actions onto the multi-action. So when you tap that one key, it will then trigger both on and off actions for whatever key lights you want to make for that multi-action. So if you want to make one for just your key lights, just your ring light, for the ring light, you would just use the on and off action for the ring light itself. You want to do all 3, you could create an action or multi-action with all 3 lights with their on and off state. But you can also do it with, if you're using a Stream Deck Plus, you can use it in a thing called the dial stack. And what that does is you can take the on and off actions with each light, drag them onto a dial, and as you click in the dial, you can cycle through your lights, turn them on, turn them off, adjust their brightness and color temperature as well as, when you click in the dial, it will cycle through your lights. So there are a couple options how to control your lights, especially when using Stream Deck.
Yes, as I was saying earlier, back when my story from when I first discovered the key light, I was just going like this for like 5 minutes with the dials.
Just turning it on and off, seeing the brightness go up, color temperature.
Yeah, it was really amusing to me.
It's amusing because it's so responsive that you're just like, twist, light off. Twist, super bright. It's really fun to play with as soon as you get a hold of it. I have a multi-action to change my lighting depending on my needs. Perfect, Vic. Thank you. Multi-actions on Stream Deck can add each light you want to a single button, so different profiles basically for each situation. Exactly. But let's talk about how you connect a DSLR to your computer to be used like a webcam. And that's where, you already mentioned it, our cam link comes in. With this, depending on the camera, we have an awesome link. We have a camera compatibility list on Elgato.com, where if you own a DSLR or mirrorless camera and maybe it's sitting there, maybe you're not shooting with it and you want to use it as a webcam, you can go ahead and see if that camera is compatible with our Camlink product. We've tested some, the community's tested some, and utilizing a DSLR or mirrorless camera is a great way just to level up your production, if you want to turn it into a webcam.
And so here we have our mirrorless camera right here, and all it is, hook up that HDMI cable to it. We do have a mini HDMI adapter right here, but it'll function the same. Go ahead and just plug that in.
Perfect. It's upside down. Pesky HDMI. And as you can see here, so USB, HDMI in, you plug it in, and we will go ahead and plug in, 1 second.
You guys want to see an angle of Chris?
No. Plug that in. So does this have a battery in it? Or
Yes,
do we
it
need
does.
Perfect. Fantastic.
So let's go ahead and connect this right now.
Is
I'm
it
not going to
on?
let you... Oh, yeah, it's on.
It's on.
But I'm not going to let Chris see the preview.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna find out the hard way.
Give it a second to connect. Ooh, that's like the Summit 1G
Wow.
angle. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, getting a little bit of, maybe it's just connecting. But yeah, so now we have our Sony, is this an A7
A7 III.
A7 III here connected to our, man, is that a fisheye lens? Is that
No, it's actually just a 10 to 18 mil. It's
10
a
to
10 to
18 mil?
18 mil.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty unflattering angle. It got under my chin. Got the nice earring in there. This is like, I feel like I'm in like a circa 2004 punk pop music video with this angle. And I'm gonna talk about my hardships in life as a 14-year-old boy.
Wow, it's wide.
That's wide. That's a
That is
very wide
wide.
angle. But it was that simple. Never noticed you had an earring, Chris. Well, you learn things every day. Um, it was that easy to set up a DSLR with Camlink 4K. Being able to, we plug the HDMI into the device, plug the device into an open USB slot, and now we have a very high-powered camera that we can use as a webcam. And like we mentioned, Camlink 4K does have a little bit of controllability in Camera Hub, as well as the ability to do effects if we wanted to. So we can add LUTs on top of the DSLR. We can do things such as enable the AI background, just like our webcams with this Sony camera here. All of that is completely controllable, and yeah, it took what, maybe 30 seconds to hook this up.
Oh no, less.
Less than
Yeah,
that. Less than that.
less.
So it is really that easy to whoop. Yep, just keep going. Well, you're in our space, Bruno. Every time you
Kinda
move
look
the,
like we're taking a selfie.
yeah, right. Clip that. And it's just a powerful piece of gear. If you're working from home, you're looking to level up your stream, you're a content creator. It's a amazing piece of, this is also one of the, this might have been with Keylight to where I my first introduction to Elgato, because I was like, this is a very, very cool little dongle that just kind of blew my mind, if I'm being honest.
Exactly. Yeah.
One question. Where am I looking? Can you do that on Stream Deck mobile? Can we do? Sorry, if you want to retype specifically what we can do on Stream Deck mobile, happy to answer it for you. But if you can do it on Stream Deck, you can do it on on Stream Deck. The multi actions. Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Okatech. I appreciate it. Yes, can you do multi actions on Stream Deck mobile? Absolutely. With Stream Deck mobile, it will actually connect to the software on your computer with your mobile phone. So you will have to set up that multi action on a computer. And then when you hit the virtual key on your phone, it will then trigger the software on the computer, triggering that multi-action to turn on and off multiple lights, turn off certain ones, all of that stuff. That is completely controllable with mobile, yes. Do you use a Camlink 4K, Dylan?
I actually just picked up one.
Just picked up one.
I have been dying to use my camera, my mirrorless camera, as a webcam.
Yeah.
For, let's say, meetings, calls, Discord VCs.
Mm-hmm.
And just one way to stand out. And when you turn your camera on, everyone's gonna be like, "Why does it look like you have a multi-$1,000 camera setup at your computer?"
Yeah, with the evolution of remote working and working from home, we like to say, like, your virtual setup, whether you're on Teams or Zoom, is kind of like your suit nowadays. We've all been in those meetings where the camera isn't great, or the microphone is deafening you, and it doesn't look as presentable, and we get in that call and it's like, wow, like that person needs a better webcam, that person needs a better
Exactly.
mic. Being in those meetings and being able to just level up your production with Camlink 4K, just it speaks volumes. It really does. It just makes that first impression, that job interview, that meeting. A lot of people tell me like, "Hey, I got Camlink 4K, back in 2020, and people to this day still ask me, "Wow, why does your setup look so good? What are you doing?" And they say, "It's just, I took my camera with a Camlink 4K and connected
Exactly.
it."
Yeah, there's so many use cases for a Camlink 4K, especially for, streamers and creators. Let's say you're mainly a just chatting streamer, and your camera angle is, at your desk setup.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you would just hook up a Camlink 4K, use whatever camera you have, if it is a DSLR or mirrorless camera, and you can go ahead and use that now. Um, but if you don't have a mirrorless or DSLR camera, there always is
Facecam Mark II.
Facecam Mark II.
Yep. And so whether you're using Camlink 4K or Facecam Mark II or one of our lighting products, we're trying to cover all of our bases here with Amazon Prime Day sales. So everything we talked about just now are all on sale. Camlink 4K is on sale. Facecam Mark II is on sale. Keylight Neo, Keylight Mark II. All of those products are currently on sale. Thank you, Chibi Miharu, for typing that in. Head over there. You can see all of the discounts that we have for our camera and lighting products.
Mm-hmm. And we can't wait to see everything that we've shown on these streams in your setups, except this right here. Like everything except this.
This is ours. This is our baby.
I'm just gonna put this behind
there
us.
you go. You don't want to hit it. Be careful! Don't knock the chair into it.
It was never here. It was never.
You didn't see it. Do we have any questions? Anything you guys have, please ask. We're here to answer questions. We're here to make sure that your the decisions that you have, if you're looking to upgrade or lighting or camera, if you're on the fence and you have a I don't know question, ask it. That's what we're here for.
Oh, there's one right there.
By Lion, is that one?
Yes.
I know you can't speculate on future products, but can we possibly expect news on the Milk Mark II anytime soon? That's a good question.
Well, I don't know if you all saw the stream from yesterday or
I didn't. What happened?
Well, there was a bit of a moment where you could probably find it on Twitter or
Was that just sitting down there the entire time?
Yeah, I had it ready.
Boy.
You would have seen Burrito like this. So we actually did make an improvement to the Milk Mark 1, actually.
Milk Mark.
So it now is branded. Originally, the only branding was this right here. Can you go to the side camera?
The side camera? I can.
It originally only said Elgato on top right there. That was my prototype design. But now it is branded with the logo. I wish I could have put it on the cap as well since it is blue already. But, this, when you're looking at shelves, you will know this is the Elgato.
So what do you plan on doing with the Elgato Milk Mark II?
Do we have any questions? Do we have any other questions?
Does it have USB-C? No, don't give them any ideas.
2% gigahertz.
If you spill Elgato milk on the Elgato rug, is there an Elgato steam cleaner? No, but there might be an Elgato stream cleaner. Ooh.
Good one, Amazon Prime Day deal.
Hire me. It has an XLR connector on top. Oh, snap.
We have a question here.
Yes. Is there an advantage to using a Stream Deck XL and a Stream Deck Dial together or redundant? So is it Stream Deck XL and a Stream Deck Plus? I assume that is what you're asking, Gary. Is it redundant? Not at all. That is exactly what I use at home. I love my XL. I use a lot of music and sounds in my own productions. So I have multiple folders, and in those folders are even more folders, and they're all thematically themed with, I mean, thematically themed. That was kind of redundant. But I have all of my folders with genres of music. I have sad. I have ones called happy sad. I have ones called action. I have ones called, scary, spooky, mysterious. So having all of my audio and sound effects on 32 keys is a lifesaver for me. But also, I like the console. I like to control with Stream Deck Plus my OBS audio levels, which you can connect with those levels. I like to control my lighting with my dials. I have my 8 keys for different scenes and stuff. So I kind of use my Stream Deck Plus for my production, so scenes and video and audio, and then my Stream Deck XL for more of the secondary things I want to bring up, like sound effects. I have my Discords on my Plus as well, so I have half sound effects on the first page, half my Discord settings. You can join your favorite Discord channels with the tap of a key. You can turn on and off your mic, on and off your camera, screen share, all of those features on your XL, and then use your Plus for production. So it really is not redundant at all. If you have a Stream Deck, you can always use more.
You can never have enough. Just
You can
ask
if
Chibimaru
if I
in
if
the
I
chat.
had enough space on my desk, I probably would.
We know someone with at least 4 Stream Deck XLs.
Yes.
And
they're in
and a
chat.
pedal. And a pedal.
And the pedal. Thanks for the
they've
Stream
been
Deck
summoned.
tips. You're very welcome. I only have 9 Stream Decks now. Tony,
Only.
that's a lot of
There's
Stream
always
Decks.
room for more. isn't
Any?
there?
Oh, yeah, we got another question. All the Stream Deck have the features of Neo. So Stream Deck Neo has 2 features that are specific to itself. So Stream Deck Neo has the 2 touch points on the bottom right and left. There was a Neo here. Do we have it?
Oh, wait.
Stream Deck Neo?
Stream Deck Neo.
You
Why did
mind
I just pull out a key?
handing me that Stream Deck Neo real quick? Thank you, Sean. So, do you mind moving Elgato Milk real quick? Thank you. If we can get the side camera here, thank you very much. So as you can see on Stream Deck Neo, in the bottom corners here, those are the touch points. So those are going to be capacitive buttons that allow you to go between pages. So currently, if you use a different Stream Deck, whether if it's a Stream Deck Mark II, a Stream Deck XL, when using pages, it's going to take over one of the corner buttons or whatever button you'd like, but one of the buttons is going to be taken over as the page indicator and switcher. So it will say page 1, page 2, all of that stuff. On Stream Deck Neo, these touch points actually are programmed to change pages without giving up any real estate on your Stream Deck. So it's really, really fluid. It's really responsive to just change pages by touching down here instead of having to give up one of the keys. Right here at the bottom is also the info bar, and that is a bar that is also specific to Stream Deck Neo. It is not touch sensitive. It is not a touch strip. It is just an info bar. So it's not like the one on Stream Deck Plus that you can swipe with. It purely provides information, such as there's a clock feature. You can get a little bit of weather updates on it. But right now, the opportunities are endless for that touch or that info bar. We can only go to we can take it to the next level with the info bar. But those are the 2 features that are specific only to Stream Deck Neo: the touch points and the info bar. We can Stream Deck Plus has a little bit of that with the touch strip. You can swipe the touch strip to change pages, and also you can display information on the touch strip itself, but they're a little bit different in how they function. So I hope that answered your question on how the Stream Deck Neo differs in its features compared to the other Stream Decks.
It's also so cute, isn't it?
It's adorable.
It's so cute.
And the fact that it can collapse like totally flat without the stand, so it can get super skinny. Let me see if I can showcase that real quick before we jump over to our next video. But you can go ahead and put this like that, and then, whoop, the cable's in the way, pesky cable. I am making a fool of myself right now.
Go ahead and route it through there.
Yeah, but I've already routed it through the other way. And now my point is not as strong as it was. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Dylan, for your assistance. There we go. You can pop this down, and then it lays nice and flat, and then you can, if you want a cable, wrap it like this, but nice and flat, throw it in a backpack, always have a Stream Deck on you at all times, along with Keylight Neo. You have a full production setup right then and there that fits in a backpack. But I think
This fits in a pocket for sure.
I've definitely put one of
Definitely fits in a pocket.
these in my pocket before.
For sure.
Yes, 100%. But I think we have a video. Let me see real quick.
And
Oh, go ahead, Dylan.
okay, no, I want to do this. So we have a video coming from Vic talking about Camera Hub and Prompter up next.
Awesome.
And thank you again for having me on.
Thank you
today,
for
Chris.
joining me, Dylan. It was a pleasure getting to sit with you and talk with you. And I hope your internship gives you nothing but joy.
Lots of joy. And it's been a pleasure being on stream with you guys all today, too.
So everyone, say thank you to Dylan. Hopefully you'll see him again soon. And then we'll play this video and get right into talking about Elgato Prompter.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Vic. So I wanted to say hi, Elgato. Happy Prime Day. And I also wanted to share with you about the Elgato Prompter. The prompter is an amazing tool. Not only that, you can use it as a secondary display. It's one of my favorite tools to use in my setup. And with that, I'm going to get started here and show you my screen. And I'm also going to pull up the prompter screen because you can actually use that again as a secondary display, right? So that's pretty neat. One of my favorite features, if I turn off the prompter here, you're going to see me on Camera Hub. Well, let's pull up my Stream Deck, right? So I have this button right here. It's preview to prompter. I customize the icons, but if we want to do it this way, it previews to prompter, and I can show you the prompter, right? So the little text there is just a little feature I love using when I am actually doing content, which is going to be the next thing that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to leave the Stream Deck open because I'm going to show you a couple of different things as we do this. Let's go to the prompter tab and actually jump into the voice sync, right? So voice sync, you're going to want to make sure that you have your microphone configured. You're going to want to make sure that you have all of the, if you're using NVIDIA, right, because that's how it works, you're going to want to make sure all of those things are set up, installed, etc. And then you're going to come here to voice sync. Me personally, I like highlight text. So as I say something, the highlight disappears. And then I also have it on auto loop. And then in order to activate it, you have to hit play. Or if you're using a Stream Deck, or in my case, a Stream Deck Plus, see that control widget right here on the dial? I just push that. And now we see that it says active. So I could do this. Hi, everyone. I wanted to show off voice sync. How cool is that, right? Like it doesn't look like you're reading. It's that little extra. And it's one of my favorite features to show off. So we're going to turn off voice control. And then we're going to talk about the keys that I have here on Stream Deck. So you can go from text to display, right? And I could turn off preview to prompter so you could see the display. Me personally, I like preview to prompter because it helps me stay focused. And if I was looking at chat when I'm live, oh, we can fix that. When I'm looking at chat. So the reason why it's set up this way is when I'm using anything with the prompter, it makes it look like I'm not reading because it's right there in the center. But if I'm looking at chat, right, like most chats are going to go here. You can change the way the chats are. Me personally, I like my chats to start from the bottom. Do you need line spacing, right? You can change the font size too. So like depending on what you can do when you're viewing, I feel like that's a comfortable spot for me to view my chat. Everybody is different on their customization, but you can customize it so it's easily readable for you. But I like to keep it like this. That way I'm like, okay, here's the camera and there's my chat. And it makes it that much simpler when it comes to actually doing anything with a live stream. And then if I'm not doing that, right, like I said, I have content. So I could go and toggle on to where it has the text. And of course, I am going to have to reconfigure where I want stuff right in the middle. So this flow works for me better than I used to do, where I had to memorize everything and then do the video and make sure I was looking at the camera. This makes it easy, and you forget there's a camera there because you can change the brightness and the contrast. There is a really cool thing though, like if you're done using your prompter, there's the power button. I'm not pushing it because it'll turn it off. Okay, and then lastly, the last thing I want to show you is actually going to be window to prompter. I love using Wavelength, right, on my prompter. That way I can check the audio levels. I just wanted to share that these are my favorite features when using the prompter.
Hello. Are we here? Are we back?
Yeah, we
Oh,
are back.
hello. Welcome, chat. I'm back from yesterday. It's Sean. I'm the video content creator, and I'm here with Phil. What's up, Phil?
I was here earlier, so not that
Okay.
exciting.
Okay. Well, there could be some new people in chat. You never
That's
know.
true.
Yes.
Big shout out to Vic for that awesome video. It's always really cool to be able to feature our community members. So, hey, if in the future we put the call out for videos for this kind of thing, we would love to feature you as well. So keep an eye out for that. But since it's Prime Day, since we're talking deals, we are here to chat with you guys about the deals and the products and show you the products and answer your questions. We've come to, well, we talked about capture, we talked cameras. Big shout out to Dylan and Chris for that. What are we talking about now, Sean?
So there's one thing that you guys might not have thought about in terms of, when it comes to video, you think about your camera or lighting, but we haven't talked about the tools that you can put on your camera. And that is what we're going to be talking about, which is Prompter. Have you guys tried out Prompter? Have you guys seen Prompter? Um, I I love Prompter. It's a great tool, one of our unique tools that you can throw onto your webcam that you already might have. So, I'm going to show you guys the box we have right here.
The background to Prompter is that, and we're actually using one right now, that, when you're creating content, if it's scripted, you want to be able to read the script without looking, off of the camera. Or if you're on a call with your friends or in a meeting, then you want to be able to maintain eye contact. Or if you're in a live situation like this, again, you want to read chat, you want to keep that eye contact. It makes the stream just feel a little bit better, a little bit more immersive. Or let's say there's a sponsor message, then you can do that with a teleprompter. So we're going to go through our teleprompter, which you can currently get for 35% off because it is Prime Day. We're going to do a live unboxing here, check it out for you,
Yes, ignore this
and
text
set
right
it
here.
up. So,
Yeah,
should we get started?
I'm gonna do some unboxing. Here we go. We got a prompter. This is one of our prompter boxes that we take to some events, but so it's been used a little bit, but everything should be in its original packaging. So when you open the box, you're gonna get another box, another
Box within
box.
a box.
It says "Get connected" here, and we're gonna open this up, and it comes with a few different things, and this is why, if you're not depending, no matter what camera you have, we have a bunch of accessories so that you can use this with DSLRs, webcams, third-party webcams, whatever you guys have going on. So we're gonna go over each little thing here, and these are step-up rings. So let me show you guys what's inside here. This is the first thing that you find inside the prompter when you unbox it. So we have step-up rings, a bunch of metal rings, a lot of them.
And what are these used for?
Yeah, so step-up rings are little, basically circle screws or adapters that you can use to basically match the prompter's mounting system to your camera. So no matter what lens size you have, if we can demonstrate actually with a lens, I'll show you guys what a step-up ring can do. But basically, a step-up ring goes on your camera lens and then can connect to prompter.
And prompter basically hangs on the front, and we'll show how that works in just a little bit here with the full prompter setup. But for now, if you have a lens, what you would do is you would take the step-up ring that you need for your lens size, screw it onto the
Yep.
front of the lens, and then you would hook that up to prompter. So
Yeah.
once we get to that point, we'll show you guys how that works.
Yep.
What else do we get in this Get Connected box?
So with our own cameras, we have our own cameras. I think that is coming in here. We have a DSLR mirrorless backplate, and we have a universal shroud backplate in this box. So in this box, what you're gonna get is a universal cover you can see this is also for the prompter. I guess we should show you guys the prompter sooner, so
We will. We
this will
will.
make more sense. But
Yeah.
this will cover your camera, so any light that spills into the prompter will be covered. This is a very useful tool to have here. And then we have another back plate here. Here it is, and this is what you're going to be using the step-up rings for. So this is a 95, or not, sorry, it's a slot where you can put up to a 95 step-up ring into. And this attaches to prompter, so you can set up any DSLR lenses you have into this. And this is kind of like the base that you will use for prompter. And then we have the USB cable in here, and this is
It actually
for,
comes with a pretty cool USB cable too.
yeah, let's show this off here. Comes with a right angled USB-C cable, braided, very nice quality. And take a look at that.
That's because if you have your prompter up against a wall or something like that, you don't want the cable going out towards the back and creating, forcing you to push it forward more. So this 90-degree cable just makes your setup a little bit more compact. But so that's what you get in the prompter box. But of course, the star of the show itself is the actual prompter. So we'll go ahead and take that out of the box now. And it comes in, hopefully you guys don't hear that, thanks to voice focus. It comes in 2 pieces, actually. Both of these are very important. So I'm going to put these on the table here, and then maybe we can move the box out of the way. So this is the prompter itself here. There's the display, and then there's the glass. This is the 9-inch display here. It's got a 1024 by 600 resolution. And this is where you're actually going to have the content that you want on the prompter on. So it could be script, it could be video from your camera. If you're previewing yourself, it could be a PowerPoint, a game, a video, it doesn't matter. It goes on this monitor. And then the way the prompter works, and you can even see it already, right? This is reflective glass at the front here. And the way it works is that screen gets reflected up, and then you look straight at the prompter. And on the back of the prompter there's this hole here. And this is where your camera looks through. So it could be a webcam, could be your DSLR, as Sean was mentioning. Could also be an iPhone or an Android device or an action camera, a GoPro, DJI, action camera. It doesn't matter. They look through here. And so the camera's looking at you while you're looking at the screen, and you're reading off of the screen or looking at it. And that gives you the ability to then, again, maintain eye contact while reading a script, looking at video, looking at someone else. And this just, it's a really nice compact prompter. On the monitor on the back, you've got that USB connection back here. And that's really it. On the bottom, there's some 3.5 millimeter
a 1/4 inch.
Sorry, that's audio. There's some 1/4 inch threads at the bottom here. So that's where you can connect a teleprompter. Look at me, I've been doing way too much talking.
No, you're good.
That's where you can connect a tripod, or you can connect the prompter to a master mount or a flex arm, or even something like a Wave desk stand. That's actually what we're going to set up here in a little bit. And there's 2 mount points. Those are different based on maybe the weight distribution that you have, because the prompter could be a little bit heavier if you put a camera on the back, or it could be a little bit lighter if you've got it mounted on the front of a lens.
Yeah.
So
one thing I want to say about prompter is, I don't know if you guys have not tried prompter. This is actually my second favorite Elgato product, besides Stream Deck. Because Stream Deck,
I was about to ask what's your first.
Yeah, well, Stream Deck is so much versatility here. But in terms of video production, because I do video production, this has been a tool that I'm using like professionally, especially when I'm at work here at Elgato, where I'm using this in every video I make. So if you guys are content creators, or obviously streamers yourself, you can use it for chat. But even for making short form content, I use this, and I actually use it I use this in a vertical setup. So my camera will be vertical, and this will be pointed straight here. So I can use this so many different ways. This is something that I think has really, if you guys do any script reading and have not used a prompter in general, this is something that will really change your workflow. Yeah. And that is why it's such a useful product to me. So I've used this for all the videos I've produced at on our YouTube channel and our TikToks. Have you guys seen those? I'm always looking at the prompter when I'm making these videos. It makes it super easy to read my scripts, and it's really awesome. So again, you can connect it to your webcam, and actually I want to show you guys We have
We
a.
haven't actually
You want to go
we skipped
over?
a little part here, which is how do you actually connect your camera then to the prompter? Which primarily, and I think for most of you, what you're going to be doing is you're going to connect a webcam to the back of it, or maybe even a phone.
Mm-hmm.
We include a L bracket. That's what this piece is right
Yep, the
here.
camera
And this
bracket.
goes on the back of the prompter like so. It just slots in right there. And then what you can do is you put your camera on that, and that looks through the back of prompter.
Here,
So
shall I install
do
this?
we actually want to set it up with
Yeah.
the Facecam Mark II? Before we do that, though, we have to remove the existing backplate on here because this is actually the backplate for a DSLR. That's also, all of this is incredibly simple. So if you want to switch it out from the backplate for a different camera, you simply
Mhm.
unscrew the backplate here and take it off, and then you take your other backplate. Do we have the Facecam Mark II backplate?
Yep, this one right here.
That one right there. Yep. You take your other backplate, you just slide it on there like so, and then take these screws and put them back in.
Yeah, so you have a bunch of different options for these back plates, you know, if you and that's why we also come it also comes with a universal back plate so that let's say you don't have the correct slot for your webcam. We have one that's just straight up open so you can just slot any webcam. So it's very versatile. But yes, this is for Facecam Mark II, and we have a Facecam Mark II here that we're going to show once again right here. And this is the 3D printed
Mm-hmm.
plate that we have for this. And all it takes is to take your camera with your 1/4 inch thread and screw it into this moving part. You can see, one second. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So this thing moves right here. The screw moves up and down, and you can then take this.
You probably don't want to tighten it all the way yet
Yeah.
because the backplate itself can also move up and down. So basically what you have is up-down movement of the backplate and forward and backward rotation. And so what you would do is you would then kind of move the Facecam Mark II into place until it's
Yep.
actually on this one. I think you attach it on the front. That's right. There's actually multiple rails as well that you can attach to. You can see I haven't done this in a little bit. You actually attach the Facecam to these rails here. We have these additional rails, so if you have a smaller camera or something like the Facecam Mark II, you can just attach it right there. So this screws in to the front here, like so, on that rail, and then you attach the Facecam Mark II, like so. I feel like this is much nicer when you do it in person than watching it on a live stream, but trust me, it's just as simple. And then the final step is you kind of insert it in there, and then you attach the
I think it's a lot easier when we already have the
backplate.
prompter mounted, but
Yeah.
we're currently doing this handheld. But typically, you're going to be mounting this prompter onto a, a multi-mount or a desk
Hey.
stand.
I think I tightened the camera too much. I need to actually loosen it again.
Give us a moment while we set up
Let's
this
see.
Facecam Mark II.
So it just kind of slots in like this, and there we go.
Okay, I want to read this comment. It's
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just started using my Elgato prompter and it's so user friendly. It's helpful for my VTubing. Yeah, I feel like even if you're doing VTubing or just any type of streaming, the prompter is so useful. I mean, I'm wondering. I assume that you're using it mostly for reading chat, but you can also do some cool features that we'll show you guys where you can have yourself on the prompter and then have like a transparency mode where you can also read chat at the same time, and that way you can see yourself on the screen. And I'm sure that's also really useful for VTubing as well, so you can see how your model looks. But there we go. We have Facecam Mark II set up on the prompter. It looks very clean, and there it is. So we have the cable, and that will plug in
I forgot to
eventually.
do one little thing though, and I'm going to take it off. I forgot to open the privacy shutter on the Mark II, so I have to actually take it off again just to open the privacy shutter. So let me do that. At least that's quick and easy now,
Oh.
and I've got it figured out. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, Striped Paw says you also have your VTuber model on the prompter. Yeah.
Mhm. You
Yeah.
can do
Exactly.
that.
So that's a great way to use prompter. There's so many different ways to use prompter because on Camera Hub there's a bunch of different categories. There's Twitch chat or chat, and there's also reading scripts, and then also just previewing yourself And then there's also a use that I sometimes use, which is using your prompter as a third monitor, which maybe we'll just show
Yeah,
them.
we'll show absolutely. We'll show that off. So okay, now we've got the face cam in the prompter. And at this point, what you want to do is you'll probably want to mount the prompter. So we're going to use a Wave desk stand here. I'm going to go ahead
Here we
and
go.
unbox this one as well, live.
Unboxing of the Wave desk stand.
So this is also on sale, by the way, Wave desk stand. I believe it's up to 20% off or something like that. Really nice. So this will make it really easy if you do want to use prompter in multiple different locations. You can just take the desk and set it up real easily. Let's
Lady Vic
see.
says someone made a backplate to support the camera without the bottom base. Yeah, that could be
There
useful.
is, yes, that does exist as well. So there are multiple ways of doing that. Actually, how does this? Oh, there we go. And I also saw a question about the backplate that it comes with. So Prompter today comes with the Facecam Pro backplate. You can also 3D print yourself these other backplates that we've been showing here, like the Facecam Mark II. Or you can also just use the universal shroud there if you want to. So that's also an option. Yeah, let's see. So this is pretty quick though here. If you're gonna
Okay.
assemble the desk stand, simply
There you
slot
go.
this in like so. And then attach the screws at the bottom. I should probably do that
Yeah. Let me help you with
like this. I got it. Both of them are the same. Yep. There we go. And this just kind of
professional.
goes in like that. Yeah.
There you go.
And you can also mount the prompter on a mic arm LP if you want to, or a mic arm high rise, something like that. It makes it's very flexible. The only thing you have to pay attention to is the weight of the prompter at that point. But let's see. So we got this guy done there. And then this one, the screw in there. Super easy. Got that prompter ready?
Yeah. So with these 1/4 inch threads on the bottom, you can just really install it to most tripods, most mounting options to your universal 1/4 inch thread.
There we go.
And then we will screw this on here.
You may actually need to rotate the
Yep.
prompter for that. Yep, there we
Just give
go.
me a moment here while we.
And then you have the locking nut, at least on this Wave desk stand, to kind of lock it into place when you are ready.
We are going to rotate this until it locks in.
It probably won't lock all the way, so you can simply
Yeah.
you
Let me
can
just make
use
sure
the
this is actually tightening on here. It's still loose.
Yeah, should be.
As if,
We're doing it live here.
Here we go. Some rotations.
Nice.
Now it seems. There we go. Got it locked on.
Perfect.
So we can easily demonstrate prompter to you guys.
Yep, there we go. So that's prompter here. Let me even that out a little bit. There we go. That's prompter on a Wave desk stand with the camera there. So now let's actually hook it up to the computer and show how it works, right? And the way it would normally work is you would now have this mounted above your monitor or in front of you, and you'd be looking at the prompter, right? So the same way that I'm looking at the prompter like this, we can actually have, we can show you here what that looks like.
There you go.
Let me grab that cable and we'll plug it in.
You have the other. Oh, you have the other end. Yeah. So we're gonna show you guys some camera hub things you can do with prompter, and honestly, this is like this again. This is one of my favorite products. Is in my opinion one of my top. This is like my second favorite. It's like it's basically tied with the Stream Deck because I use it so often. I use it almost every shoot I do. So anytime I'm in front of the camera and I'm talking as A-roll, like I'm doing headshots or um, I am using the prompter pretty much for any script reading. So we're gonna show you guys what you can do in prompter or what you can do in Camera Hub with the prompter.
So yeah, you can see the text is coming up here. It is now on, and we've got this basic text here. Let's actually, I guess we can keep it up there for now. Yeah, there's a couple different modes. So first is the display mode. In this mode, the prompter literally acts as just another monitor. So if I take the window here from Camera Hub, you can see I can actually move it onto the prompter here. The second mode is text, and this is the one where you could have a script, you could have bullet points, you could have notes, anything like that on there, and you can see prompter here is, moving as I'm clicking through the text. I can also go ahead and start, start the text to scroll, and it'll start moving on its own there. Also super simple. Then finally, we have the chat mode. So right now there's no channel added, so I'm going to go ahead and add the Elgato Twitch channel. And check this out. It'll say connected. And now someone type something in chat for me, and it will show up there. And in
Let's get
fact, this
some.
is what we're seeing. Oh, there we go. Look, chat. You
Get
guys can
some
see
chat
yourselves.
messages. Yes.
So that's on
There you go.
prompter. And what's really cool about this is you can even do things like make the chat larger,
Something in chat.
smaller. You can change the margin here. You can change the vertical margin. You can change the background of you if you want to of the text. All of this stuff. And so this just makes it really easy while you're live streaming to then read your chat. And again, the camera is behind the prompter, right? It's looking through the teleprompter. So as you're reading the chat, you will then still keep eye contact, and you can have a real conversation with your viewers. So that makes it really, really nice to use prompter. The second mode here, like I said, is the text mode. This is the one where you would have maybe you have a script or something like that, or some notes. I already showed the typical way it works, which is it just scrolls kind of at a steady pace like that. This is okay, but what if you have a different speaking cadence? What if you speed up, slow down? Maybe you miss a line, you need to go back, or just pause. Maybe you need to go off script for a little bit. Well, for that we have a mode called voice sync, and in this mode, what Prompter does is it actually uses machine learning and AI to analyze your voice, analyze what's the text that's in the script, and then it will move it for you. So check this out. I'm going to go ahead and enable this right here. Let's see.
Yeah. So
We'll
Jay,
go.
it's JRG says, am I right to think that there's a voice mode that so it follows you? And yes, this is what we have in Camera Hub
Yep.
called Voice Sync, and it basically tracks what you're saying using your mic input and follows has a script follow your voice, basically just like using Siri, but it's like we're hearing what you're saying and using the script to continue going down the line. So yeah, it basically follows your voice.
Do you guys want to see it live? Let's try this. Okay. Here in text mode, Prompter automatically mirrors anything you say onto. Actually, is it on?
We'll have to make sure.
Oh, it still says getting ready. Okay, let me see. I might need to. Of course, these things happen during demos. I'm just going to restart this really
Dre the Moose
quickly.
says this would be so cool for people trying to do singing covers to display the lyrics so they don't have to scroll
Absolutely.
web pages.
This could be for karaoke. This
Oh,
could
that's
be for
awesome.
sponsor messages. This could be for pretty much anything you want to do. So, all right, now we've got the text there, and I'm going to hit go. Just want to check real quick. Is it because it shows you the status on there? Okay, it is active.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, so if you guys have this and are trying it out yourself, there is something in the top right corner that will let you know if voice focus is active or sing for us.
All right, let me try it now that it's working. So here in text mode, Prompter automatically mirrors anything you say onto its screen. This way, you can stay on script while maintaining natural eye contact with your audience. With its familiar interface, Camera Hub makes it easy to organize your text. Paste in text or enter as you go. Add emojis or bullet points and line breaks. Separate content into readable chapters. Now, the really cool thing is if I stop reading the script and I just start talking with Sean
What's
here,
up?
like, hey, Sean, how's your day been going?
It's going good. Aren't you recording a video right now?
I am recording a video right now and I've got voice sync on, but because I'm not reading from the script anymore, it's not moving. However, if I want to go back on script, I can just start reading it again. You can even adjust opacity to blend text into the background. Keep experimenting until you find the perfect mix of style and readability. When you're done formatting, test out Prompter's controls. And so that's completely hands-free. I don't need to do anything. All I've got here is a microphone, in this case, a Wave Neo. I mean, it skipped to the right part though. And that's something else that it does is it'll skip forward. So if you skip a line or you move on to another line, it will move forward for you. And so this is really, really cool. And that's part of the power of Prompter is it's not just a display and then you kind of have to find some other software to put something on there. we have our Camera Hub app that does all this for you. So I've shown you how it looks on prompter and how it works, but let's take a look at how the software actually looks here so you get an idea there as well. So I'm going to switch over to the demo scene here. Here we have the demo scene, the Camera Hub software up, and we're on the prompter tab here. So first things first, you'll see here there's some controls for brightness, for contrast, and then you have below that the content controls right away. So you can choose if you want to use it in its display mode, in that text mode, or in the chat mode. In text mode, you can write your scripts here. We've got this like default one. You can also add a new script. You know, you could say Prime Day. There's your script, and then, you know, get these Elgato deals. There, you kind of get the idea. This is the script mode here. You can have multiple scripts. You have chapters and chapter control. It's really easy. You can paste in from Word, from Google Docs, etc. Makes it incredibly simple to get your scripts on here, or you can just type them all in right in Camera Hub. Finally, you have that chat mode here. So here you can enter your Twitch channels. So if you have multiple channels, different channels, just your one, that's all fine. Then you just put that in here. And again, what you're seeing on prompter, or rather, yeah, that'll just show up on prompter right here. It's probably a little small right now because I'm small in the corner, but you know, you saw it a little bit earlier. Then you have your appearance controls here. So for example, let's move back to text here. You know, you've got that those font size controls, the margins. Here's the scrolling controls. So you have either that constant mode where prompter just scrolls in the same, you know, same speed as you set it to, or you've got that voice sync here where you just select your microphone. You can also change the reading position, you know, change if you wanted to highlight the text for you or not, what you've already read, and then just hit play down here and you're good to go. Finally, there's also overlays. This one's kind of cool. If you want to know kind of where the center of the camera is, you can click on show overlay. And what this will do, let me move over to the main scene here. What this will do is it'll add a image onto the prompter, and it might be a little bit hard to tell. Maybe I can make it red here. Will that be easier to see? I don't know if it's, I think it's coming up on screen there. You
It
can
is there. It might be hard to see because, you
There it
know,
is. Yep.
yeah,
I
there
can
it
move
is.
it around. So what you can do is you can put essentially like an overlay right where the center of the lens is, so you always know where to look, where the center of the camera is. That way you can always reposition if your eyes are moving back and forth. If you're refocusing on the prompter, you always know exactly where to look. You can also change the opacity here. You know, make it more see-through if you want to. Change the color. You can even add a custom picture. So that's another option you have there. So it's incredibly versatile. You can do a lot of different things here with Prompter. And yeah, that's kind of Prompter in a nutshell there. You can put anything you want on it and keep eye contact. And again, we are using a Prompter right now as well. So, you know, it's Archie says, what device is this one using? Is it from your mic? I can read that while keeping eye contact. Archie, the question, in this case, the audio that was being used for Prompter was actually from the Wave Neo that I have on the side here. Because of our production setup here, we have a couple different computers and everything set up. So
Yeah.
yeah. Looks like there is one more question here that we have. Can you layer the chat and use voice to read your script and drop off sentences at the same time? Oh, you mean basically like scrolling the chat while you read the chat? So chat is gonna scroll automatically. Can you layer the chat and use voice to read your script and drop off sentences? Oh, I think I see what you're saying. Can you read the script and have chat on the same time? Not in the text mode. In the text mode, it's only gonna show you text. Um, in the display mode, you could put chat on there as well. And like literally you just pop out your Twitch chat, your YouTube chat, you know, TikTok, Kick, wherever you're live, and move it over there. But then you're not going to get voice sync. So I don't think so. That's not going to work in that exact way. I guess I'm curious why, like, like you're reading from a script and you want to see chat at the same time. I guess there would be reasons to do that. But it's also very quick. One of the really nice things is there's a Stream Deck integration, of course. So what you can do is you can actually change between all of these modes using your Stream Deck. So let me show you how that works. This is actually this is where a lot of the power also comes in. So let's say you picked up a Stream Deck here for Prime Day for what, 30% off, something like that, Stream Deck Mark II. You can set it up, and we're gonna go ahead and use a Stream Deck Plus here. So
Up
there's a
to.
Camera Hub plugin that you can install. Do we have it installed? We do. And you can do some basic things here. For example, changing the prompter mode between, chat, text, and display. So I'm going to set up one here for the chat, and I'm going to set up another one for the text mode. Now, if I actually plug in the Stream Deck, that would be...
And this is great for something like, imagine you're a streamer and you have like an ad segment. So this would be like you want to reach chat, but then like, okay, I have like a sponsor coming up. I'm going to press my script key, and then I can read the script, and then right after that script is read, press it again, and you're back to Twitch chat. So I kind of think this is what you were looking for.
So there we go. Now it's on the text mode, and now I can tap a key and go back to the chat mode there. So it's that simple to switch back and forth, just tapping a key or tapping two keys. You can even set it to a single key where it toggles between different modes.
And this is why I think it's so cool that Stream Deck works so well with Prompter. Like the amount of tools that are just that work together, especially that fact that Camera Hub has your webcam and Prompter working together on the same software is really nice.
But it gets even better. What you can do is you can also scroll your chat. Now, if you have a Stream Deck with keys, like the Stream Deck Mark II, then what you can do is set up a scroll key here. So you can do a, let's see, prompter. Is it the prompter display? No. Prompter control, that's the one. So you want to scroll. You can do a step size here of, let's say, +2. And then we can do another one, paste, and we'll do minus. And now if I delete this, there we go. And we've got, I believe, we'll move over to the chat mode here. And now I can use the keys here to move up and down in the chat. See here, as I'm literally tapping and it's moving up and down in the chat, which that's cool and all, but with dials, it gets even better, and it's an even better experience. So if I head over to dials here and I do prompter control, we'll set it up on the dial right below it. We can do a step size of 1 or 2, and now I can literally just scroll on the chat here, and I can scroll through the chat. I can also scroll through the text. So if I've got a text here, this pretty long welcome script, and I need to go back and forth, I can simply scroll through that using the dial here on Stream Deck Plus. So this is really nice if you're at home by yourself, you're recording a script, and even with voice focus, let's say you messed up a line and you need to go back a little bit, you simply scroll up, and then you can press press the dial, and then it'll start playing. It'll, voice focus activates. You can pause it again. You can scroll forward. You can scroll back. So the Stream Deck integration here is really powerful and adds a lot of control to your prompter that normally you'd have to like scroll in Camera Hub or something like that, which you can obviously do, but it's even nicer with Stream Deck when it's sitting right in front of you. Reminder, you can get a Stream Deck Mark II with 15 keys for $110 right now during Prime Day.
Wow.
So,
I didn't even know that you can press that button down to play and pause. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's why you also need a dial type pedal, as I think you're referring to.
Dial type pedal?
I think he's referring to Stream Deck Plus, controlling the mic volume and the script back and forth. But
well, the pedal has all the same settings. So if you want to move forward and backward in your script, or you want to change the speed, you can.
That's true,
do
especially
that
if you're like live and you're like this. You can have your hands out. Nobody would know that you're changing your script back and forth.
So we've talked a lot about Prompter, the hardware, and how you would set it up with a camera or with a webcam in this case. We also looked at the software, but we mentioned earlier these different backplates. So let's talk about how we mount it to a DSLR in this case.
Yeah, I'd love to show you guys. That's how I usually am using Prompter. So here again, we have the backplate universal lens backplate. And this will just screw onto the back of Prompter. Right now we have Facecam Mark II, but we are going to show you guys. We also have our lens here. Now this is a third-party Tamron lens for Sony cameras. And this is let me just check real quick what filter size this is. If you guys are new to camera gear, or if you're like somehow maybe you just bought your new maybe just bought a DSLR camera or have one and you are thinking about using it as a webcam, you want to look at the filter size. Usually it's written on the top of your lens. It's going to be written right here. So let me check what this is. It is a 67 millimeter filter size. So that is when we're going to be opening up the uh, step up rings that I showed you guys before. And these are just a bunch of step up rings with different sizes. And we are looking for 67 millimeters. So let me take a look here. I think I found it. Here we have the 67 step up ring millimeter. Here it is right here. And this is going to be going onto our lens right here. And it's going to be then sliding right into the prompter mount. So let me show you guys how this works. We are going to take this, yep, move the prompter, and we're going to install it right onto our lens. So it's just like this, very smooth. Just trying to make sure that the filter isn't scraping the lens. Let's put this on the table. Probably easier that way. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Got it?
I think I just need some. I think I just need to
Little bit
apply
of
some
pressure.
pressure. Yeah, because the sometimes. There we go. Yeah.
All right.
So right there, very clean, and then.
But the problem is right now on the prompter we still have the wrong backplate, right?
Yep.
So we need to go ahead and exchange the backplate here for the DSLR, or rather, yeah, I guess the DSLR backplate. So you can simply take that off and then put
Yep.
the new backplate on there.
Backplate goes in right here.
Like, I'm
Believe
trying to
that's-
do this without looking. There we go.
There you go.
Like this.
It just slots right in really easily, and this is typically how I have it set up, just having the lens mount. So here we have our lens, and you can see it's gonna go right. Let me just aim it a little bit closer here. You can see it goes right into the prompter, just like that. And it's a kind of a nice click. It's not really a click, but it's like solid.
It's a very solid
Very
feeling
solid.
there.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's in, and you can actually let go, and you can see prompter isn't too heavy for most lenses to just be held with the lens. That's how I have it set up when I do my shoots. I literally just have prompter hanging by my lens. Make sure you have a lens that's strong enough for something like that. But yeah, it's just like this. And imagine a camera on the back end here, and there's a beautiful lens. Look at that right through the prompter. Looks really nice. There we
And
go.
yeah, so that's how you mount it to pretty much any DSLR camera. You put the lens, the step-up ring onto your lens, and then you put that on your camera, and then it hangs off the front of the camera. At that point, you mount the camera, right? So you put the camera on a tripod. You would put the camera on something like a master mount, something like that. But that's pretty much it. Now, if you're using any other camera type, let's say like an iPhone, a DJI, an OBSBot, Mini, something like that, that's when you would use the universal shroud. So the universal shroud is just another backplate that you attach to the back of the prompter, except this is just, as if I hold up the cloth here, this is just a big hole. So this is just a really big hole, and you poke the camera through it. It just looks through there. And then this shroud is just a piece of cloth that hangs over it to block all of the light, because unlike the other backplates that we have here, light could still get in, and light is actually bad. You don't want any light in with the camera lens. Otherwise, it's going to get through. And so, yeah, that's the universal shroud that'll work with pretty much anything. It looks like we're getting a producer message here. What have we got here? It looks like we have a community video from Crash showing prompter with a fun twist to engage with chat. So, should we take a look at this?
Yeah. Let's see how we can use prompter for our streams.
The Elgato prompter allows you to maintain eye contact with the camera while reading a script, while watching your own video, or even having anything else on the screen through Camera Hub. Using Camera Hub, you can change it so your prompter acts like another monitor on your system. What that means is you can take an OBS scene and output it onto the monitor and build it however you want. I've built mine so I can see my camera feed. That's kind of grayed out a little bit so I can still see text over top of it from Twitch chat, as well as most recent alerts right there. So it shows everything I need to see right there. I can maintain eye contact while knowing everything that's going on with the stream. This also allows me to do some really cool stuff. You know how you can use channel points to trigger effects on the screen? You can do the same thing with your prompter. I built a channel point interaction called Breaking News, where chat can throw something on my teleprompter and I have to read it, just like Ron Burgundy. The twist I have, though, is my AI bot takes that message, writes me an intro, writes me an outro, and generates an image to throw up beside me in the newsroom, and then switches me over to a newsroom scene, and I have to read everything that's there. Let's go see it in action. So we're going to find the channel point redemption called Breaking News. We're going to paste it in. Elgato prompter is on sale for Prime Day. We're going to hit send, and it takes a little bit to process it, but we're going to wait for the bot to kick it in automatically here. Breaking news, this is Wolf Daily with PNS, bringing you the latest updates faster than a squirrel on espresso. Elgato Prompter is on sale for Amazon Prime Day. And remember, whether you're prompting your Elgato or just prompting your day, stay sharp and prime. This is Wolf Daily signing off from PNS. And there you have my news scene where chat can go ahead and throw a message on the screen, and I have my bot write in an intro and an outro, generate an image, call up the scene, and I can make it all work because I'm looking at it right on the prompter. Thanks for watching, and always remember the key to happiness is...
Thank you
Awesome.
so much for that video, Crash. That was really, really cool.
Crash is so creative. Whenever there's a, like, I'm like, you know, in Slack, it's like, oh, somebody did this with that. I'm like, was it Crash? Did Crash do this?
Yeah.
Very, very creative. Thank you for showing us how you use AI to have a really fun, engaging, unique experience, and you can just read all the stuff that it generates with your prompter just on the spot, just like that. But hello, I am back again. The closers are here once again to
We're gonna not only close out this live stream, but close out these deals because you're gonna be buying Prime Day deals.
we're gonna close out that cart when you hit purchase. But we also have some giveaways coming, so
Ooh.
I want to go ahead and get the first one started. So this is actually, we're going to be giving away two things. We're going to be giving away first 2 Stream Deck mobile codes, and then really close to the end of the stream, we will be doing one final giveaway, which is for an Elgato neon light, which I think we should still have over there. So
here,
we'll
yeah.
bring that out when it's time to give it away, so we can show you what that will be like.
So what's the... Are we doing the giveaway right now?
Yeah, Stream Deck mobile codes. So these are going to be lifetime Stream Deck mobile codes. We want you to try out Stream Deck, and with this lifetime code, you can do everything that another Stream Deck can do, and a couple more things too, because you can even do some like extra personalization in the background, all that fun stuff. So we're going to start the giveaway now, and to enter the giveaway, you just need to type Chris P, one word. Jasmine picked this, not me, because apparently crispy was talked about earlier. They were saying like something crispy. I was not. I honestly, like, I was on my lunch at that point. I have no idea. See, apparently you guys all know this. I was having my lunch, and Jasmine decided this is the giveaway code.
New stream lore was created that
I
we're not
missed
aware
this
of.
one.
Yeah.
I was here for the milk mark too. I missed the crispy. So. Thank you, Jasmine,
crazy.
for picking this word for me for sorry, it was Vanessa apparently. So this is actually somehow Vanessa's fault.
Ex Elgato people coming in here and creating problems.
She just decided to, well, like every day, wake up and choose chaos.
Yeah.
Which we will be having more chaos because we're playing D&D later.
Okay, so while you're entering that, we're gonna just let the giveaway run a little bit.
Yes.
Were there any other questions about prompter?
God, don't put multiple P's.
Any other questions about prompter that we could either queue up or talk about while we let you guys enter the giveaway for a little bit? I would say from my own experience, I mean, I've got a prompter at my desk, at home, and at work, and we are using one right now. We're using it for every video. Prompter is an incredible product. We always used them even before we had our own. Oh,
we didn't
play Doom?
No.
Thank you for the reminder. Darn.
We don't have Doom installed.
We do have Helldivers installed, but I think that's going to take too long to kind of quickly get into a game. We really missed it. But can you play Doom on prompter? You absolutely can, because Doom, it's just another game. It's just another monitor. The prompter is, I mean.
I like the emote.
What? Oh, yeah.
No.
So yeah, you could play Doom on there. You can just watch YouTube videos too. Sometimes when Burrito's presenting something to me and I just don't really care, then I'll just put a YouTube video on there and just it looks like I'm paying
And
attention, but I'm
this is
watching
how
something.
we get moments like yesterday when you were like, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm like, no, Phil, you're going to see them in an hour when you're back on the stream.
Exactly. That's what leads to things like that. Or you could also use it to pay extra attention because you're constantly looking at the other person. So
Yes.
you can kind of take
Or,
it either
oh my
way.
God, you can put the schedule on prompter. And that way you always know when it's your turn.
That's crazy.
But he's not going to do it.
No, we wouldn't do it.
That's
So,
crazy. Anyways, no, but prompter is awesome. I wasn't here while you we're demoing prompter, so I want to talk a little bit about what I love about prompter real quick. Prompter as a second, or in my case, third monitor is so good, right? So for me, I always like keeping tabs on my Slack, right? I usually just put on my second monitor and then kind of put where you see the notifications right there on the side. But when I'm not actively using scripts or actively, streaming where I can read Twitch chat on prompter, I like using it. I literally just put my Slack on there and I can always see whenever I get a message or anything like that. Like I'm always aware. And then when I'm streaming, obviously we're using it right now for Twitch chat. That's like the best. It's so cool. I've always wanted something like this where you have an additional monitor. You don't need to take up space on your existing monitors. You could just play your game full screen.
Question about that.
Yeah.
From me on behalf of chat. You mentioned you can put Twitch chat on there. Can you put other chats on there? Like, could I put YouTube chat, TikTok,
Yes.
Kick, heck, my Zoom, my call chat, like a webinar? Does it work with Discord?
Well, in the same way as Jaren asks, can I file my taxes on prompter? You can put any window on your computer on prompter. So all you do is literally drag it and drop it over just like you would to a second monitor. And in this case, you can use it for Discord just by dragging it up. Actually, during the Elgato Week streams, we would stream and then we would end with a Discord Q&A. We had that Discord chat put up on prompter so that they can read it. And if you get creative, I got really creative, not to brag. I got really creative and I even made it so that they can use Stream Deck dials to move up and down the messages by creating an action trigger.
That's right, yeah.
So up
That
and
was pretty
down hotkeys so that way they could scroll up and down on the Discord chat. So you can get really creative here. And Prompter and Stream Deck Plus especially is a really, really good combo. But yeah, Prompter for over $100 off is an absolute steal. I mean, this is a product that when we launched it, we had good stock and it's still sold out.
Yeah.
Like, it sold out so fast. We brought it back in stock, sold out again. Like, it's so cool. I think this is something that I myself as a streamer wanted for so many years, and some of you could really, really use to have really like more interaction with your streams, faster YouTube videos. Let me just tell you an anecdote real quick. So we did a whole live stream event in 2021 on July 15th. I'll never forget the date. We were launching a lot of new products. That was our first time launching a webcam, mic arms. Like we were entering a lot of new spaces. So we did this really, really cool live event stream. And I was part of the stream as, one of the videos there that played. I re-recorded my part and this is no exaggeration, over 100 times. I still have the files on my computer where I would just mess up one word or I would forget one of the features of Camera Hub that I was supposed to mention. I could have done that in one take with Prompter. If I get that exact script again, play it in one go, I can do it, right? I still have some of it memorized. Exposes all tweakable settings on Facecam, like.
Wow, okay, yeah. It also took me a couple tries, maybe not 100,
Well,
but that is...
my part had really specific things I had to say in a specific order, and Camera Hub was new. I was actually like starting to use it for the first time because it was still being worked on when I recorded it. So basically, it's an incredible addition to your stream, or even if you're doing YouTube videos, or if you're doing both, because it's very versatile. You can use it while you're streaming, recording videos, or even while you're working, or
I mean, if you're presenting, if you've got a PowerPoint that has a lot of technical data in it, or let's say you're doing like a sales training, or you need to present a project to a bunch of folks, you can put your PowerPoint on the prompter or have all your notes up there of things that you're going to say or points that you need to hit, and then go by those. And it just makes it a lot easier. It even, I mean, frankly, it helps reduce some anxiety too. You're like, oh, am I going to say the right things? I'm going to make sure that I hit the right points that I need to cover, all of that.
Yep.
Prompter will help you out there. So it's very,
and then
very
did
good.
you show window to prompter on Stream Deck?
We didn't show window to prompter
can we
just
show
yet.
it real
No.
quick? Did you have it hooked up?
Everything is a little bit disconnected right now.
Okay.
I mean, if we have time, we can.
I think we have
can do it.
time.
We can
I
do
want
it.
to show
Okay.
that because one of the coolest things about Prompter is that Stream Deck integration. And let's say you're doing something like, Okay, I could show you actually tell you a really cool use case here. Let's say you're having an important meeting with someone like your boss, and out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh, how were those numbers for that previous launch, or how did this go?" Well, instead of having to be like, yeah, let me just open that doc where I have all my analytics and let me just like read them off, right? You can actually completely play it off like you've got it all memorized by creating a multi-action that opens the window or like the website that you have all your analytics on. For me, I keep mine on Google Sheets. I can open my Google Sheets with my social analytics, and then I can use the window to prompter action to move that window to prompter. And then boom, just like that in one press, I would be able to just read off those analytics and Ricardo doesn't have to wait for me to awkwardly fumble around in my documents and try to find analytics for him. So yeah, that's just
Let's
one way that you
see.
can use that you can go ahead and use Prompter with Stream Deck. And this will work for any Stream Deck, by the way, not just Stream Deck Plus that we're using right now.
Indeed. So we've got Stream Deck here, and I'm going to put this on. So I'm going to look for Camera Hub. We've got our Camera Hub plugin here. I'm going to put window to prompter on here, and you can choose a specific app. Let's say in this case, we want to showcase some deals, right? Let me just make sure we're on the right page. There we go.
Oh yeah, show them those deals, Phil.
And so what happens is now when I press this, it's actually going to show up on the prompter here. So first I got to change it over to its display mode quickly. So
You can create a Stream Deck key for this.
you could create
Let's
a
do
Stream
that.
Deck key for
Yeah.
that. Sure, absolutely. So I will create a
Prompter
prompter
mode.
mode. I got it. I
Yeah,
got it.
I want a demo.
It's go to display, and now I can just simply tap on this Stream Deck key. Okay, prompter, it's empty right now, just showing the background. And now what I can do is check this out. We're gonna open Microsoft Edge here. So Edge is open, and it's like, wow, look at all these deals. I want to move these deals onto prompter. Ta-da! The deals are now on prompter just by pressing a Stream Deck key.
Yeah. And I believe if you press it again,
It
it
goes
sends
back.
it right back.
Yep. So this is really nice, especially if you hop in a lot of meetings, or again, if you open Discord, you could just set up one key on your Stream Deck, open Discord, tap a key, boom, it's now on your prompter. And then when you're done for the day, you're done with your meeting, whatever, you just tap your Stream Deck key again, and it moves back onto your main display.
Yep.
So that's another really, really cool feature there.
Yeah, M3,
just
I'm
makes
sure
it
that
a
would
lot
work awesome
easier.
for Teams meetings. Yes,
Mhm,
absolutely.
It does, yeah.
I mean, you're having a meeting and you want to make that eye contact, or you just joined, you were, maybe typing some things, you joined the meeting. You don't even have to worry about clicking and dragging the window over to your prompter. You just press that key and boom, now your meeting will be right on prompter. Works for any monitor, I guess. I mean, it works as its own monitor, so it actually comes with
Yeah.
this display right here. So it's a 9-inch display. It comes with it right out of the box. You don't even have to you don't even have to install it. It's right on there on prompter already. So yeah, let's answer some questions. You guys, I'm sure want to learn so much about prompter. So you would need the page open already to click the key. Like you can't force a page, for example. Well, if you were to create a
You
multi-action,
could create a multi-action, exactly,
which is
where it
exactly what I was talking about. It's cool stuff.
opens the page and then moves it for you.
Yeah.
That could be one key with two things inside there. Absolutely. That you can do.
Oh, Sasko meant about moving an app to another monitor that isn't prompter. Yes, you absolutely can with the Windows Mover and Resizer plugin by BarRaider. Love that plugin. It's only on Windows, so it isn't on Mac, but it is so good. You can literally press a key and put the window anywhere that you want it. You
Yeah.
can even resize it, which is really cool. So you can create a multi-action that will put all the windows on your computer exactly where you want it to be for your stream. It can, open OBS, put it in the corner, open, Twitch chat, put it in the corner,
Yeah.
open your game, put it on the right monitor, full screen. It's so cool.
If
So
you
that's-
don't have, I see there's someone says I don't have the window to prompter action on my Stream Deck. Make sure you're signed into your Marketplace account on Stream Deck. That way you'll get all the plugin updates. Because if you're not
Yes.
signed in, you don't get any new plugin updates.
And
So
then
you
you
might
have-
be missing out on some.
And then you have the Camera Hub plugin.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You need to install the Camera Hub plugin from Marketplace. Again, that's really simple to do. So up here, this is Stream Deck software. Make sure you're signed in here. As you can see, we're signed into our John Elgato account. If you see sign in, make sure you do that. And then if you need to get the plugin, you simply go to Marketplace here, and then you can search for Camera Hub and install it here. And that's how you can get all these actions and control prompter, control your cameras. that sort of thing. So yeah.
Yep. I have more questions. Let's see what else you guys got. Love Stream Deck stuff. Having two is just great. Oh, so glad to hear. I love Stream Deck. Krino asks, is there one of those dial stack action keys for all open windows for this? Do you mean open all windows or like
That sounds
to...
like it's a bar raider thing again, where
Yeah.
you can have multiple windows. It like can reposition all of your windows and stuff like that. Gaming, Give Gaming, I'm glad that worked. What worked? Did you have to install the plugin or
By
did you have to
logging
log in to update?
You just want to see if I was right or if you were right. Let's see who was
Yeah, I
right.
want to know who was right. But you know what? You know, a question that I think everyone has on their mind, but I haven't seen chat ask yet is, wow, Prompter is really cool. So how much is it? And what's the discount for Prime Day? Well, I'm glad you asked, chat. I'm glad you asked.
They did ask.
Let's check
I
this
saw
out.
it myself.
Let's go and check this out. So it is not sold out. That is incorrect. We're gonna go down to Prompter here, and you can get it for up to 35% off. Which on Amazon, in the US at least, remember there's regional differences. You can get it for, it's actually 37% off. So it's another 2% off. Maybe that milk was onto something. You can get Prompter for $110 off, which is a crazy amount. So normally it's $300 or $299.99. You can get it for $189.99 today with this Amazon Prime deal, which is awesome. I think this is actually the lowest price that I've ever seen it.
100% the lowest price I think it's ever been.
Not only is it
$110 off is a huge, huge save here for Prompter.
Little pro tip. Remember that Facecam Mark II that Chris and was it Chris and Dylan demoed earlier and that we showed on Prompter? Well, check this out. If you want to, you can get. So we talked about how Prompter is $110 off, and guess what the price is of a Facecam Mark II? $110.
Yeah.
So if you add a Prompter to cart and you add a Facecam Mark II to cart, you'll get a camera and Prompter for the same price of just Prompter. So it's like you're getting a free camera.
It's free real estate.
Does that logic work? I don't know.
I
You
think
tell
it works.
me.
Yeah,
It
it's
kind of
basically a
works.
free camera. If you're like 21% off and 30, what was the other one? 37% off
37, yeah.
is not enough for me. How about 100% off Facecam Mark II if you
Yeah.
buy both Facecam Mark II and Prompter off of their original MSRPs?
Yep.
But yeah, this is like truly, I cannot emphasize enough. If you are a streamer, content creator, podcaster, you're making any kind of content online, or you're just doing a lot of stuff on your computer, Prompter is an incredible addition, and I really, really encourage you to try it out. If you're on the fence, this is one that I think, I'm not going to say that anyone needs Prompter. However, I'm
No.
saying that you can do a lot with Prompter, and you can really get creative with it and benefit a lot from having it.
I almost forgot to mention there's two cold shoe mounts at the top here. If you if you use cameras, you're familiar with them. If you don't use cameras, basically these are little areas you can add more things. So you could add a microphone on here. You could add a light on here. You could add, I don't know, you could just add more stuff on here. So yeah, you have two of these little mounts up here. They're called cold shoe. There's hot shoe, which is they provide electricity. In this case, they don't. These are just little mount areas. That's why they're called cold shoe. If you look for cold shoe adapter on Amazon, you'll find them. It's a standardized thing. And then you can slot those in here and then, connect anything you want up there. So it makes it really nice.
Yep.
And that is Prompter.
Yeah, I think we still have some more questions, though. I did see White Wolves asked about if there's any way to use Prompter on devices that you can't install software on, like controlled work machines. Well, I think as long as you have, display...
So you do need to install, at least on Windows, well, on Windows, it'll automatically pull in the driver. On Mac, you do need to install our Camera Hub software. So as long as those machines that are, controlled can install something, then you're good to go. If you can't install anything, that's going to be a little bit tough. You might want to talk to your IT team then. It's just a standardized driver that gets downloaded and installed. So, nothing crazy there. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely something to make a note of if you want to install it on a work machine.
Yeah. Well, you could do this. Ready? Clip this and send it to your IT team. Are you ready? Turn around to me. Go with it. Hey, we're the kind folks at Elgato, here to tell you that Elgato Camera Hub software is completely safe. So please do let I missed their username now. Let whoever sent you this video be able to use Prompter on their work machine. It'll help them be more efficient. It'll help them
More
do
engaging.
so much more work. They're going to 5 times their work, more engaging, more professional in meetings and whatever else they're
And they're
doing
not
at
going to
work.
try to find hacky workarounds to install it, meaning that your IT is
It's
more
safer.
secure.
Yeah, if you have them kind of cheat the system, maybe you don't like the result. So maybe just let them have it, and everyone's happy at the end of the day. Does
No,
that work?
does that need like a legal disclaimer? No, this is not actually the opinion of
This is not legal advice.
This is not legal advice. Yeah.
Jaren asks, can you record something telling my boss to give me a raise?
Well, actually, what you can do
Hey,
with
Jaren's boss.
Prompter is you can script out your raise
Your pitch, yeah.
and then call your boss and be like, "Hey, man, I wanted to talk to you about this," and then you go through all your points and it's like perfection.
Yeah.
You know.
Give them a raise so that they
yeah.
can buy Prompter, have better calls with clients and team members. That's all I'm saying.
It looks like we're getting a raid. From
Oh,
someone.
we are.
Who
Welcome in,
who's-
Raiders. We were raided by Jim Davis, MTG. Hi, how's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Prime sale.
You know what you guys could
high.
do right now is go raid our warehouse with these crazy Prime Day deals because you can get up to 30% off various different products. In fact, we're talking about Prompter right now. We talked about cameras earlier. So thank you for coming in, Raiders.
Actually, Raiders, we're doing a giveaway right now. So you
Ooh,
should
that's
join
true.
us.
What's the giveaway?
Yeah, what is the giveaway? What's the giveaway keyword again?
Crispy. Crispy.
I don't understand why this is a giveaway code. Not
We'll
gonna
have
lie.
to do a lore deep dive at some point.
I need to go back to the stream and I need to see the lore that I missed because I definitely missed this one earlier on the stream. But apparently this is some sort of reference to something that happened earlier. So if you want to enter the giveaway to win a Stream Deck mobile code for iOS or Android, whatever you use, type Chris P in the chat, one word, to enter. I'm tired of talking about Chris's P.
Sounded like line.
Why is he peeing?
Sounded like Linus Tech Tip with that transition. Yeah, and speaking of transitions, we're gonna transition to this giveaway.
Yeah, all right.
So everyone, wherever you're watching from, make sure you're on Twitch. Make sure you enter Chris P
and you have to be following.
You
if
have
you're
to
not
be
following,
following,
we
yeah.
re-roll. So if you guys are new here from the raid, hit that follow button, and yeah, you can follow right now. You're not too late.
All right, are we gonna roll right
yeah,
now?
we're gonna roll. All
All
right,
right.
let's do this.
In 3, 2, 1.
Good luck, everybody.
The
we
winner
have
is
Abysmal Melody.
Aw.
Abysmal Melody.
Why is it abysmal?
Oh. If you're in chat, type something in chat to claim your prize. You have about 50 seconds to claim that prize. You do have to type something in
There
chat.
they
There you
are.
are.
That's me, TY.
Hey,
Congratulations.
Would you like Android or iOS for that code? Just let us know in the chat, and then we'll draw the next one. Was that Little Mermaid? It actually wasn't, but it kind of sounded like it, right? It's my own creation. iOS, awesome. All right, let's go ahead and draw that second winner. Give me another countdown.
Dang. Okay, another countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is
Benevoler. Benevoler, you are the winner of the next Stream Deck mobile code. Are you still in chat?
Benevolar.
Say something in chat to claim your prize. You got about 50
That's
seconds.
a cool name.
That is actually a really cool name. Oh, you won.
There they are. Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm
gonna steal that name for our D&D campaign. I am Benevolar,
okay.
a generous god.
Kazur doesn't know how she feels about this. Please let us know if you would like Android or iOS for that code, and it'll get DM'd to you from Elgato very soon. So just let me know which one you prefer. But yeah, okay. So we have that was Benevoler who just won that one, and we have one more giveaway to round out the day.
One more? Should
One
I plug it in?
One more. Yeah, plug that in and let's show you guys what we got. So we're giving away an Elgato Neon Light for our next giveaway. These are exclusive. You can only get them with giveaways like these. And we also have one running on Twitter right now. So if you would like to go over to our X account at Elgato and you would like to enter, all you have to do, I believe, is just like and retweet. And it's being run until afternoon tomorrow.
That's the
So
right
definitely enter because this
orientation.
one's a pretty quick giveaway. So it gives you higher odds of winning. This
Check
is
this out.
so cool.
Ta-da!
Ooh,
It lights
sheesh.
up. We have a
That's
lot of light here though, so it might not, but in your
That's okay,
setup
just
and
put
in
it in
real
my face.
life,
It's blue.
it looks really
It's
good.
blue.
It's got that kind of, neon cyberpunk aesthetic. It looks really great. In fact, we have a similar light-ish back there. Back there.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
That one will be given away tomorrow, our final giveaway.
And so yeah, it looks really, really good.
Will look great behind the desk. Yeah, we have the Elgato Marketplace one. This one's new. Isn't this one so nice? This week is the first time we're giving this one away. For Android. Okay, Jasmine got that for the second winner. Okay, Jasmine, please can you message me what the code is going to be for this one? I hope it's a it's an inside joke that I know.
How about we just do a normal one? Can I, or just chat? Can chat suggest a code or a giveaway word?
I think Jasmine has to have it queued up because she's editing the
Oh,
commands.
okay,
Um,
okay,
but maybe they could pick one for tomorrow. We'll ask after.
okay.
Yeah, so I guess in the meantime, any closing thoughts? We talked about Prompter, we talked about Facecam Mark II, Keylight Neo, Camlink, 4KX, and
Well, what
HD60X.
is going on sale tomorrow, potentially?
So we had you guys vote for an additional Prime Day sale for US. Unfortunately, this is only US, but now that we've done it and it went really well, we might do this for other regions in the future. But tomorrow for the US, we have a new deal being added because you guys voted for what product you wanted to go on sale, and Stream Deck XL won. It was very close. Wave
Mhm.
DX was second place, really close. If it was a tie, we should have done both, but I didn't get pre-approval on that. So it's Stream Deck XL that won. So that will be live tomorrow. Keep an eye out for those deals, and we'll talk about it tomorrow when it is live. And then also, if you saw that 4KX deal we're talking about earlier, we're working on getting that back in stock. It should be back by tomorrow. So if you're hoping to get a new capture card, there's HD60X in stock right now, and then 4KX, it says out of stock, but we're working on fixing that. All right.
I think that just about covers it. But a
Yeah.
question for those of you who are currently here. Which of the products today have you been looking at, or did you buy any of them? So that could be HD60X. Well, 4KX, unfortunately, Amazon is saying is out of stock, so you couldn't get that one. Prompter, Facecam Mark II, Keylight? Question mark?
Keylight.
Keylight, yeah.
Maybe we can get a poll. Actually, there should be one of the polls queued up there
Prompter, I like it.
about if you guys have bought any of the Prime Day deals so far from Elgato. And then in the meantime, the giveaway is going to start now. The keyword is Milk Mark II. All one MK2, Milk MK2. It's in the chat if you want to reference it. Milk MK2, one word. We had milk yesterday. Today is Milk MK2. We don't have the milk here because we wanted to put it back in the
Chat,
fridge.
can you guys just not enter that word and we choose a different one?
No, too late. It's
Imagine
started.
boycotting the giveaway word.
Oh wait, actually, hold on. Let me. I have to put it again.
That is just who our team behind the scenes needs to be reined in. Something they can't keep getting away with
If you already
this.
typed it, type it again now and you'll be entered. I did forget to update the keyword. Also, yesterday I was trying to run the giveaway and I'm like, I don't know why Nightbot's not working for the second giveaway. And then Jasmine ran it for me. I looked at it later at that tab. I put 2 eyes in milk. So obviously nobody was typing that.
Oh no.
So that's why it wasn't working. If you guys were here yesterday and saw that happen, it's because I'm very smart, actually. It's one of my best qualities. But yeah, we're giving away an Elgato Neon Light now. It's also being given away on Twitter as well, so make sure to check that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's chat.
It's party in the, or it's business in the front, party in the back, aka business on the Elgato.com side, party on the twitch.tv/Elgato side.
Capitalization does not matter. So capitalize it in whatever cursed way you would like. Milk Mark II in caps.
Okay.
All right.
We have a lot of entries. Again, make sure to type in MILKMK2.
Yep. And then if we can run that poll, so we can spam the chat even more, type yes or no in the chat if you have bought any Elgato products for Prime Day. We want to know.
If it's a yes, that's awesome. If it's a no, how do we turn that into a yes is my question.
Yeah. You know what we need to do?
What?
We need to prep the chat to lie. Next time, everybody say yes, and then we'll be like, "Look, guys, we sold 100 people from the stream bought stuff." I'm kidding, by the way. Tell us the truth. We want to know the truth. Let's just say no one's checking your response.
Yeah.
Yes, me when I'm lying. I love that meme. Me when I'm lying.
God, memes. After this, we have to go through and we have to look at some more.
Don't we have to end the stream soon?
Well, yeah.
I think we could do some memes.
Yeah, we can. Okay. Anyways, have you all entered the giveaway? We're gonna count down. We're gonna do that. So
we have 6 votes for a yes, by the way. That's
6
awesome.
votes, 11 no's. Why do the no's have
7
more?
yes.
That's crazy, guys. I would have expected yeses to win.
Well, they already have product.
I do appreciate the honesty. I really appreciate the honesty.
I really appreciate the honesty, but tomorrow when we have Julian on, we run the poll again, and
Is
everybody
that
say
tomorrow?
yes. That's
Is
tomorrow.
tomorrow Friday
Tomorrow's Friday.
already?
Yeah, everyone say yes tomorrow.
It's Friday then.
Everyone, when Julian's on, everyone be like, guys, I just bought every Prime Day deal.
All right,
you gotta amp it up. Okay?
We got a deal there, chat. We'll do another giveaway if you guys say that you bought everything.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? If tomorrow when
Yeah.
Julian's on the stream, chat is on their best behaviors. Like, I love these streams. I love this. This is the best thing ever. I bought all the products because of these streams. And then maybe say, oh yeah, Phil and Brito, give them a raise. Yeah, everyone behind the camera, give them a raise. just amp. You
Casually
guys are.
drop that in
What is
there.
it called? Like you're our wingman, basically. Okay, chat. This is your job. Hopefully Julian's not watching right now. This is your job. You gotta.
Yeah, but what does chat get out of it? What's the return on investment
If you
here?
do that, and we're impressed, we have to
Yeah.
be impressed, right? I need to be watching this and be like, if Julian comments on it, he's like, oh wow, very positive chat. And then we will do an extra giveaway tomorrow.
I think we can do that. Yeah.
And I think we could do a product giveaway tomorrow.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, let's think about this. I need to think about this. Is new. We just came up
Yep.
with this
Right here.
I love it so much, and Julian is so cool. Give the stream to a raise. Save that for tomorrow, okay?
All right, chat. We got a deal.
Yes. Deal?
Speaking of deals, why don't we?
What's the deal with this giveaway? Let's
yeah.
go ahead
What's
and run
the
it.
deal with this giveaway? That's crazy.
This
All
is
right,
my
let's
favorite
do
part
it.
of the stream. I love the end because we get to have fun.
All right. In 5,
4,
3,
3, 2,
1. And the
1.
winner of the sign is
The winner is Richard.
14110.
Richard, if you're in chat, type something to claim your prize. Where
Okay.
are you, Richard? You're here. Congratulations.
Awesome.
You
This
have just
is
one.
yours.
An
Not this
exclusive.
specific one,
Yeah,
but
this one has
one
our
like it.
fingerprints on it, not that
Yeah,
one.
you don't want this one.
You don't. But yeah, you have one Elgato Neon Light. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for entering and for hanging around. Tomorrow we'll be giving away this neon light. So if we can get a quick look at that schedule. Man, my Ike sandwich. I had an Ike sandwich for lunch. I'm so full. Trying not to burp into the mic.
It wouldn't. No one would hear it anyways.
I know. Voice focus and all.
Yeah.
But I couldn't lie to chat. All right,
That's
tomorrow
true.
we have a stream talking about audio from our German team being hosted from Munich. They'll be talking about audio from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. UTC. And then after that, the French team, this is their first time taking over the stream. I'm so excited for this. We'll be streaming from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. UTC, talking about all the products. Très bien, cannot wait, so excited. And then product Q&A from us, talking about all the products. This is our first one of the week our last stream, but also is the time where we're going to be talking about everything, all the deals. Bring all your questions, and we'll be, demoing stuff live. We'll be talking to Julian. We'll have a special VTuber guest with us as well. And then on Monday next week, the Japanese team is taking over, streaming from Japan from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. UTC, talking about all their deals. And I also heard rumors. About the Spanish team doing a second stream.
They liked it so much.
Yeah, because the Mexico Prime deals are live later.
Oh.
So yeah, make sure to tune in for that.
What is UTC? Universal
Time code.
Universe isn't it coordinated time? But
Or
why is
coordinate-
it UT? Why wouldn't it be UCT
I
instead
don't
of
know, man.
UTC?
I didn't
Somebody
make
in
it
chat
up.
is probably really smart and knows this. Universal time code. There we go. Why isn't it just? Yeah. There's also like something with coordinated time. But yeah, basically it's like one thing and you just do plus or minus, a certain
So if you just
amount.
Google like 10 a.m. UTC to PT, Google does the translation for
Yeah.
you. I do that all the time.
She said that and you ignored it.
Well,
I
he
do that a
typi-
lot.
So actually, he does this all the time, by the way. It's like actually a thing that I will say things and answer questions for him, and then he'll ask me the question about what I just told him. We're working on it. So, yeah. Do you want to show the memes now?
I don't know, chat. I made some memes and I want to go through them and you
This-
guys could rank them, all
yeah.
right? Just out of 10. Just anytime you see one, we're going totally corporate here, so bear with us.
Nuclear asked about the schedule time again. You can actually find the schedule also on our Twitch page. If you go to schedule under one of the tabs on our page, you can see them there too. And we also did post it on socials. But yeah.
Now, I want to mention right away, these memes were made by me. These are not representative of anyone else's opinions or thoughts except mine that you should be buying things
His
for Prime
brain
Day.
rot while we were setting
Exactly.
up the stream. He did this for like 2 hours, and we're like, Phil, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, what? Because he's working on the memes.
Okay, so first off, we have, this. Should I read them? Should I just be like,
You
bought an
should
Elgato
awkwardly
product
read
on
it.
Prime Day, waiting for it. Me bought an Elgato product on Prime Day, waiting for it to
You
arrive.
should explain it a little bit too. Make sure they really get the
So,
joke.
guys, this is a person in class. Then we have the Matrix, of course. You know, you have the blue pill and the red pill. You know, you could get a certain amount off of, well, Wave DX isn't on sale, so I didn't know that at the time. Or, you know, 15% off Facecam Mark II. Then there's this one, all reliable. You open the box. Look, Prime Day deals. There you go. Jarvis, buy that Elgato Prime Day deal.
Oh my god. I don't get this one. Explain it to me. I'm kidding.
Saving on Elgato what it feels like to save on Elgato products for Prime Day. Life after we all save on Elgato product Prime Day deals. This could be us, guys. If you just buy more Prime, you know, buy more Elgato products for Prime Day.
Yes, go to elgato.com.
Me, when Elgato Prime Day deals sneak up on me because, whoa, look at all these crazy deals.
You guys see what I have to deal with every day.
Elgato
time.
Prime Day deals. This one, I don't know why this
We
is
should
still my
recreate
favorite
this one.
one.
Here, wait.
What?
We should
Just
record-
like-
get the screenshot.
Wait, move over like that. Boom, perfect. Look at that.
Wait.
Wait, what?
It's
Oh
with
my
the mic
God.
arm.
It's a mic arm. Oh, that's awful. That's actually awful.
You're welcome. I get
Okay.
paid for this.
What else do we have? After all, why shouldn't I save on Prime Day deals? This is that feeling, right? Those of you in chat who are like, I shouldn't spend this money. I have responsibilities. But after all, why shouldn't I spend on Prime Day? What else do we have here?
Oh my
Me
god.
after spending my money on Elgato Prime Day sales, it's like, oh, I don't have, I spent it all. I'm not being financially responsible.
That should have been like me waiting for my order to arrive. You should treat yourself. Yeah. Treat.
So I think that was that list. Then we have,
Oh my
there's
god,
a second
be careful where
amount.
you scroll here. Phil can leak something if he
Prime
scrolls
Day
too far.
deals, Carl. Elgato Prime Day deals. See, this is all corporate. I can't. Me on my way to save on Elgato
Oh my
Prime Day
God.
deals.
I think this is my favorite.
This
It's
is
American
actually how I
Psycho,
walk into
right?
the office every day. Just
Yeah.
just all serious.
We should recreate this one.
What else? 0 days since saving on Elgato Prime Day deals. I think this one actually works. I didn't know it at the time when I made it, but let's see. Hop in. We're saving on Elgato
Oh my
Prime Day
God.
deals.
I like the watermark at the bottom.
Yeah, it's good, right?
You have too much time. Yes, this is what he was doing while everybody else was working really hard to get everything set up for these streams, by the way.
This one makes no sense. How can I save on Elgato Prime Day deals? Or how can I save on Elgato products? That's the neat part on Prime Day. It's so bad.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Me after saving on Elgato Prime Day deals. Okay, so chat, the question is who in this? Is it the person looking, you know, is it Pedro Pascal looking all happy? Or is it Nicolas Cage going like, what is going on?
I think it's like the Nicolas Cage one is like their partner.
Yeah.
Like you bought more streaming gear?
Can I zoom in? There we go.
Oh
Now
my
you can
God.
see it.
Good. Yeah, we needed to see more of that.
Cooking up all these Prime Day deals. Science. And in fact, that is our team with the Stream Deck XL after we did all the voting. You know, we're putting it all together.
I wish you guys could see me on this scene.
You can you can slide in and we can just, then let's see. We got another one very inspired here, you know. Jesse, we got to make more Prime Day deals, Jesse. Then let's see. My wallet after saving on Elgato Prime Day deals. Oh yeah, you know it. Then this one. uh, this. I don't think this one makes much sense. And then let's see if we keep scrolling down. Oh yeah, this one. Somehow the Elgato Prime Day deals have returned. If you watch Star Wars, you'll know that this one's dumb. This is deciding between different deals. Then we have, oh yeah, this one, like I wonder what he's thinking about, Elgato Prime Day deals. It's
It's not even like, oh, I'm gonna shop Elgato Prime Day deals. Nope.
no, it's
The
just thinking
Elgato Prime
about him.
Day
He's just thinking
deals.
about him. Let's see. This one is so Elgato. Listen. Elgato has these Prime Day deals, and they're incredible. You can save up to like 30% off. Listen.
Can I unplug his mic? Is that okay, tech director? Can I do that?
Not Prime Day. I sleep. Prime Day sales. Real shit. No. I think one of these we have to skip. This one, I buy Elgato on Prime Day. We're not the same. We're not the same. That's just a to-do list. That's just a to-do list. Let's see what else. Saving myself money on Prime Day. This is so good. This is so good. Who made these? I made these. What else do we have? Deals. Woody, deals everywhere, Woody. And then I think that's it. I need to be very careful about. Oh wait. No, there's more. There's more. Honey, wake up. Prime Day deals are live. And then Prime Day deals and my wallet. Then we have, guys, listen. Prime Day deals, but Elgato. Okay. And I have actually been watching the show. Why am I tripping now? Mad Men. So yeah. Then there's this one. The penguins. And Burritos, I don't do social media, but I do this. Of course, we went through this one already earlier, but I love saying this one. Looks like Prime Day's back on the menu, boys. If you watch Lord of the Rings, you'll know that one. Gentlemen, it is with pleasure that I can inform you that Elgato has many Prime Day deals. Yes. And then, my wallet running from all these Prime Day deals. By the way, if even just one of you buys an Elgato product because of this, I will have done my job correctly.
You will have fulfilled your life's purpose.
And then what it feels like is after saving on Elgato Prime Day deals. I just like that's hilarious, right? You're just laughing because you literally stole the product because of how great the deal is. You're just walking away with all those savings. I think. Oh wait. Okay, I think now
Don't
these are the
scroll
last two.
too far, Phil.
I know. All right, and then
Phil wants next week to be a little bit different.
can't hold all these Prime Day deals and memes, and then the final one. This is the final one, I promise. Just choosing between two of them.
You should have done the one where he has like he goes like this and presses both.
Oh, with the pinky?
Yeah.
Or the one where it's the cup where you get like Pepsi and Coke and it's like coming out of both into the anyways.
Or the SpongeBob reading both sides
Is
of the
that
book. Stop scrolling. Stop
okay,
scrolling.
I think that's it. No more. I think we're done here. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for coming to our live stream. We had so much fun with you. And
I did not have fun with you. Let me be clear here. That was not funny. That was not fun. I did not condone this behavior. That was awful. No, I'm just kidding. They're really good memes.
These memes were checked by our professional social media team.
So long making that.
It took like
It's like every 5 seconds you'd be like, look at this one. No, they're so funny. I'm glad we got to show everyone. And we do have to post them all. We'll probably post it probably tomorrow. I think we're gonna go. Tomorrow's gonna be fun on social for the deals.
Are we gonna post them somewhere?
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways.
So.
With that being said,
I don't even know what to say after that. Do you have a meme for what to say after that?
No, but it's more like the straining one, like me when I need to hop off this live stream, just like. Yeah.
I wish we could have a Discord channel where they can make these and send them.
That would be super fun.
We could watch them, read them tomorrow on the stream. That'd be fun. We should do that.
Okay.
Next time.
All right. With that being said, I think we're going to end it here. Make sure to come by tomorrow, same time, same place.
A meme roulette channel point redeem where it throws a random one of the memes on the screen.
That's crazy.
Next time.
Next time. Yeah. Same time, same place tomorrow. We've got a lot of other live streams as well still, so make sure you check our schedules for that. Got a lot of deals still, so make sure you check Amazon for that and Elgato.com. And with that being said,
oh my god, we have so many options for raid.
I think we're gonna go raid someone. I can't see the list. I
Okay.
can't read it.
Eh, eh, You pick, Phil.
I uh uh
They're all so good.
that's so tough. I don't know. Let's do Mimi. Is that how you say
Okay.
that?
We're going Mimi.
I mean, since we're on the topic of memes, we do need to end it. I need to
Yeah.
like not
You
be
can
on
go.
stream.
Just get out.
I can go. Just walk
Get
away.
out. Just walk away.
All right, so we are gonna raid
Finally.
Mimi, everyone. Thank you again so much for coming by. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank
And
you so
thank you for buying
much.
these Prime Day deals. That's so nice of you.
See you again at 10 a.m. PT, unless you are joining one of the
Remember,
other
tomorrow's a
streams.
special day. We've got John Elgato,
Yes,
the man
Julian.
himself.
Julian will be here tomorrow, and then we'll also have a special VTuber guest. We'll also have a guest from Corsair as well. Corsair is
Ooh.
going to talk a little bit about their deals too. So tomorrow's the last day of Prime Day. Make sure to make those purchases. Go to elgato.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please just end the stream. No more memes, Phil. Please. Bye.